एस्पिरेशनल यूथ वाला आपका आंसर, इट वाज एक्सक्विजिट, मैग्निफिसेंट, मतलब मजा आ गया। मतलब ये जो सेल्फ फुलफिलिंग प्रोफेसी, ओ माय गॉड, मतलब आपने तो वही, मोदी ने दिव्यांग बना दिया ना उनको, तो वो भी उनको मतलब एक सेंस ऑफ, उनको एक डिग्निटी दे दी आपने। और आपने यूथ को भी एक सेंस ऑफ डिग्निटी दे दी, क्योंकि हम लड़कियों को कहते रहते हैं कि यू कांट ड्राइव, यू कांट ड्राइव, इसीलिए वो बेचारी टक्कर मार देती है। तो वेरी गुड, एक्सीलेंट आंसर। So Ayushi, my first question is, why are you unhappy with your current job?
Sir, I'm not at all unhappy with my current job. In fact, I feel extremely proud, extremely happy to be here, sir.
Okay.
Uh, it's just that when I think about the idea of justice, that was the first thing that comes into my mind whenever I think about service. I realize that in administration, I can help people get justice at various stages. But in policing, I can only arrive at that point when something happens, mostly reactive. I can be proactive, definitely, but it is mostly reactive. But in administration, sir, I can take a lot of initiatives to help people get justice. Sir, for example, if there is any someone from a vulnerable section, sir, someone uh, who is a labor outside,
Hmm.
as a police officer, I can prevent crimes happening to him, and that would help him to earn money. But as an administrator, I can help him to get a better job, to get more dignity, to get more security. That is the only reason, sir. Otherwise, I'm very happy with where I am.
So rather than training you people and then letting you people join any other service, should we not give the police officers such powers? Because SPs are highly decorated and celebrated people. So I don't you think that we can have IPS reforms instead of all people leaving the services and going into the IAS? What do you think?
Sir, I believe the current system where we have police focusing on security is the correct one, sir, and where administration is focusing on the administration and the overall development. So, because security, law and order, crime in itself is a very important and very niche sort of an area, sir, which requires specialization and which requires a dedicated service, sir. And we must focus there with all our skills in that area, sir, and let administration where it is, sir.
So where did you feel more safe as a woman? In MP or in Gurugram? Or in
Sir,
Bengaluru? Okay, Bengaluru also is there. Okay, at three places now. Hmm.
sir, I personally, although I've been to Gurugram, but I've never worked in Gurugram because I was working from home during
Okay,
that time.
okay.
But sir, overall, if I have to talk about how personally I felt, where I felt safer, sir, it has always been MP, sir. The only reason being it was my home, and a person always feels very safe at home, sir. And as a woman, if I have to think specifically in that direction, sir, uh, I would say Bangalore was quite safe in that regard, sir. I used to travel a lot during my internship in the night, and I felt quite safe during that time as well.
So I see that you've had your schooling in Delhi as well, in
Yes,
the RK Puram, New Delhi. So
yes.
why is Delhi perceived to be so unsafe for the women? Or it really is unsafe for the women?
Sir, the first aspect about the perception of Delhi being unsafe is, sir, we have seen in the past number of cases. One of them being the heinous crime against Nirbhaya, sir, and that sort of, and Delhi is the national capital, sir, and anything which happens there grabs the headlines, and this is one of the reasons its perception also changes. And sir, I believe this perception is sort of a feedback loop for both the law-abiding citizens and the criminals. If there is a perception that the city is unsafe, criminals feel empowered and citizens feel weaker. So, sir, this perception has to change actually. And for that, sir, Delhi police has taken actually a number of initiatives. They have installed a lot of CCTV cameras, very dense, high density of CCTV cameras in the area. Patrolling is going on, sir. The main thing we have to focus on changing this mindset and perception, sir. And there has to be a deterrence and fear in the mind of criminals.
Hmm. Deterrence. Okay. So what is postmodernism?
So, postmodernism is a sociological theory which goes beyond the idea of modernity and enlightenment. it has multiple aspects. First aspect talks about that there is no one complete truth. There are multiple stories, multiple theories, and there is no one gospel of right. Second aspect, sir, it discards enlightenment and scientific rationality and talks about more around the stories and how we can take apart the language in itself, which talks in binaries, sir. So it's more about deconstruction of things, sir.
So, what is the latest web series that you've seen? Have you seen Adolescence? That is making rounds on Netflix, and many newspapers are covering it. It is related to the issues with a 13-year-old boy who's murdered someone or who's accused of murder, and he has some anger issues. Have you seen that web series? Very recent.
No, sir, I've not seen that web series, but yes, sir, I've heard about it.
Okay, I'll give you a situation, very simple situation. 13-year-old boy commits a murder, be it in rage, be it, I don't know, exuberance of youth or whatever you may call him. And then Ayushi, police also sends him to a juvenile prison. Now, what are the issues with parents? Is it bad parenting or the bad society, or who should we blame? We can't blame the child at least. He's 13 years. He's very infant. You tell me, as an officer.
Sir, we have to see the entire environment and the life cycle of the child, sir. The first people whom the child idolizes is the parents, sir.
Family.
And the parents have to provide support to the child. As we discussed, sir, the child is 13 years old. He's a teenager, and that is the age when puberty hits, and uh, that is the time when we need parental support. So the support and guidance of the parents is required. The second aspect is the school aspect, sir, where uh, there is peer groups, there are teachers, and at that age, the child is very impressionable and he wants to make a mark among his peers, and there are challenges of bullying as well in schools, sir. So that is where the school authorities, especially the teachers, have to become the confidant of the child, sir, so that he or she, if the parents are not so if the child is not able to share with parents, he can share with teachers. And lastly, sir, the overall society, sir, sometimes we place a lot of burden on a very young mind of, because 13-year-old, sir, he must be in 9th, 10th standard. He must have the pressure of studies, the pressure of what is going around with peers, schooling. As a society, sir, we have to make the child feel more relaxed. Something, sir, Honorable Prime Minister does, the Pariksha Pe Charcha. Sir, that's a very good initiative. Children feel relaxed. They do, and parents also, sir, they relax their pressure on children, sir. So things like that can really help, sir.
Section 69 of the IT Act was in news for various reasons. So, are you aware of it? What is the issue?
Sir, the issue which was in news, sir, was around Twitter going to the court that government is currently using the Sahyog portal
Hmm.
to send requests to intermediaries to block access, and the government is using section, as much as I remember, sir, section 79 instead of 69, because 79 blocks the safe harbor access, safe harbor protection, and 69 just says that you have to remove
The
the
content.
objectionable content.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was the issue. The Twitter says that government is misusing this section, and they are saying that they will take away our safe harbor if we do not remove that content, and they are calling it as censorship. But sir, in my view, it's very much required, sir, given the kind of things which are going on at times.
No, but a cartoon was also removed from the Vaikatan magazine of Tamil Nadu. Recently, it was restored by the Madras High Court, but still there was censorship issue. The whole website was blocked, and then the court restored the whole website except for that cartoon, and that was a political cartoon, maybe showing PM Modi and President Trump in a bad light. So, where do we draw the line and what is the way forward? Else, there's a lot of litigation regarding this section. Should we repeat as Shreya Singhal that striking down section 66, or what is the way forward according to you, ma'am?
Sir, social media has become all pervasive in society, sir. And being a part of the state, sir, it's our responsibility to utilize regulation to control any kind of fake news, rumors, objectionable content that can circulate, sir. So, sir, regulation, first of all, is very much required in this regard. And per se, where do we draw the line, sir? it sort of comes down to our balance of judgment in that regard. So we can have some sort of objective guidelines, but in the end, we have to make a judgment on what is objectionable and what is not. So we can form certain objective parameters in this regard, sir. For example, if it is something which can blatantly harm the society, that must be definitely blocked. But if it is something bordering on that sense, then we have to use our judgment in that sense.
Hmm. So, Ayushi, I see a lot of police officers. They go around the streets of their cities and they go with the cameras, they challan the individuals, and everything is being recorded there. It seems that they are doing a nukkad natak, just as mentioned in your hobbies. Will you be also doing that nukkad natak, slapping people around and danda marna sabko? Many of your peers or your seniors are doing this. And I think it has shown bureaucracy in a bad light. This is my personal opinion. What do you say? Should you carry a smartphone with you? Because I think if a police officer is challaning a particular guy, it's his job. He's not doing any miracle. If you are having integrity, it's your job. There's nothing more that you have to do more than that. You are being paid for it. So why that hype around social media, Sastagram, and all that? So you tell me.
Sir, on the first aspect, if I will be doing that, definitely no, sir. I am all for bureaucratic anonymity, sir. That is a very important value in bureaucracy, sir. I do not support this. And sir, on the second aspect, why that hype, sir? Sir, I believe it's an unfortunate thing that the position is being used for personal fame, sir. The utilization of video recording or social media can be very powerful, sir. We need a lot of awareness in society in a lot of aspects, be it cybercrime, be it child marriage, be it anything, sir. And
Hmm.
those are the places where we can utilize these kind of things, not for something where we are regularly doing our job. Sir, it can actually make citizens trust us even less, sir. It can reduce their trust and it can change the whole paradigm of how bureaucracy should and shouldn't work. So I do not support this.
Is the government doing something to regulate you people showing around or hyping the glorifying the worthy which you have on social media? Is the government doing something, or there are already some rules but the rules are not being followed? What is it?
So overall, as far as I know, in all India service conduct rules, we have a very powerful line which says we should not do anything which is unbecoming of an officer. So that in itself is a very wide line which should cover this. However, sir, given that we now have this issue of social media also coming up, so sir, I believe that we should have some specific guidelines in this regard for bureaucrats. So, and sorry, sir, I'm not aware if government is already doing something. I will read on that.
You just Google it around. Okay. Now there was another web series called Black Warrant. It showed the Black Warrant.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. You haven't seen that as well. तो वैसे ही आपने लिख दिया क्योंकि आपने अच्छी अच्छी चीजें तो देखी ही नहीं है. चलिए, ब्लैक वारंट आप देखिएगा अपने इंटरव्यूज के बाद. सो ब्लैक वारंट में देव शोन अ लॉट ऑफ ड्रग लॉर्डिज्म, अ लॉट ऑफ माफिया, अ लॉट ऑफ pendency, judicial pendency, a lot of prisoners under trial in the Tihad jail. So what is being done to reform our prisons? Drugs ho gaya, crime ho gaya, syndicate ho gaya, the unholy nexus between the police officials and the warlords, and there are factionalism or mafia wars in the jails, and that is somewhat a reality. We've had reports of Lawrence Bishnoi or some criminals like him using their telephones in the jail in Delhi. So how do we tackle it?
Sir, government is providing funds for modernization of prisons, and there is a Model Prisons Act as well, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, going forward, we should follow certain important rules with respect to prisons, sir. The
Hmm.
first is high security prisons for such habitual offenders and gangsters, sir. They
Hmm.
must be kept in very high security, separate prisons
Hmm.
from the first time offenders or from the first time offenders under trial, sir. They must be kept separate and there should be high security.
Hmm.
Secondly, sir, when we are aware that there is gang war going on or there are separate such groups, they must be kept separate from each other, sir, to
Hmm.
prevent any kind of fight broken amongst them, sir. And thirdly, sir, there must be a strict crackdown on officials who are found in unholy nexus with these kind of gangsters, sir, because it is very much probable that if someone is utilizing
Hmm.
phone inside the prison, it cannot happen without the support of someone inside. the prison.
Exactly. Hmm.
So, sir, they must be the ones, and the superiors have to take the lead in this and have a strict crackdown on such officials who are participating in this unholy nexus.
So
And
do you
apart from
feel?
that, sir, technology is always one thing which
Technology
can
is
help.
always welcome. ठीक है. And you also say na, prisoners under trial, they form a huge chunk of our prisons. Almost I think 66 or 70%, two-thirds of the prisoners are still under trial, है ना? तो और उसमें वो भी दिखाया है उस वेब सीरीज में. तो उस वेब सीरीज में एक ड्रग्स वाला इशू दिखाया है, और क्योंकि आपका वेब सीरीज है और आप पुलिस ऑफिसर है तो ये रिलेट करता है. एंड एक उसमें डेथ पेनल्टी का भी दिखाया है, डेथ पेनल्टी का और मर्सी पिटिशन रिजेक्ट होने का, है ना? तो ये क्वेश्चंस भी आप थोड़ा सा देख लीजिएगा. ब्लैक वारंट है, आपको नहीं देखनी है अभी, लेकिन आप उसमें, हाँ, ये रिकॉर्डिंग आपको मिल जाएगा, ये रिकॉर्डिंग आपको मिल जाएगा, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. ओके, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट हैप्पीनेस. व्हाई आर यू हैप्पी, आयुषी? व्हाई आर यू हैप्पी?
So right now I'm happy because I am at SVP and PS, sir. I am doing a lot of physical outdoor training. I'm studying something very, very new. I've never studied law before this. I've never studied criminology before this in so much of depth. So I'm really loving those subjects. And apart from that, sir, I ran 8 kilometers today, so I'm feeling very happy about it. So
ओके.
overall, sir, the life is very good. And overall, sir, I would say I have been given an opportunity by the God to do something which I've always aspired to do. I've always aspired to do a field job where I can do something meaningful, and policing is a wonderful job to do that, sir. So I'm very happy about it. And by God's grace, I have a very good family as well, sir. So
But a report says that India is unhappy. Are you aware? India is even unhappy. Even Pakistan is happier. Syria is happier. Palestine is happier. So how do you see that report?
So that report has certain parameters on which it judges the happiness of a country, perception of corruption, trust, or something, some
Hmm.
parameters like that, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, but
Hmm.
it's just not possible to objectively judge happiness of a person, let alone a country, sir.
Hmm.
So, sir, I sort of do not support that report in that regard. If we look at our country, sir, our country, I believe, has very unique set of values. We have so much diversity, so much pluralism, and yet a lot of unity. People find a lot of happiness in very simple things. We have a lot of family values, community values, and
Hmm.
people stay together. There's a
Hmm.
lot of friendship in society, sir. So these kind of things provide us happiness. Our culture has been associated with charity. You give happiness, you gain happiness. So,
Hmm.
sir, how can our country be not happy in that regard, sir? Definitely, there are certain challenges, sir.
Hmm.
But overall, sir, if happiness is a thing, sir, it's very subjective, and I believe, sir, we are quite happy in that regards.
Hmm. Would you have prevented the Kumbh Mela deaths, Ayushi? How would you have prevented, rather? Obviously, you would have prevented. You are an honest officer and a dedicated officer. How? Some people died in Kumbh, right? Hmm.
Sir, the day the unfortunate incident happened was a very peak day of the Kumbh Mela, sir, the Moni Amavasya.
Hmm.
So, sir, to prevent anything, the most important thing is anticipating all possible things which can happen.
Hmm.
And the thing where it happened when suddenly the barricades broke down, and I'm not aware of the nitty-gritty and the details of the incident, sir. What exactly is the reason why it happened? But
Hmm.
sir, the main thing which could have been done was anticipating more and more possibilities which could have gone wrong. Like barricade could have broken down, there could have been more crowd, and to mitigate that, we could have used more. Uh, More areas where the crowd could have gone. We can lengthen, we can expand the crowd in time and space, sir. They could have gone on longer routes. They could have had more time to reach the Sangam ground. One very good thing, sir, I saw in Kumbh was they were very proactive in their speech, sir. They had a very good nudge mechanism and the behavioral change mechanism. Very politely, the police officer was telling everyone to please move, let your brothers and sisters come here. So these kind of mechanisms would have helped even more, sir. And anticipation, I believe, sir, is the most important.
सो मेरी तुम्हारे कुछ सिक्योरिटी कमिश्नर्स वगैरह से बात हुई, जो IRMS IRPF वगैरह, जिनको इंटरव्यूज का तैयारी कराया था. हमने एक कंसेंसस बनाया कि हम एक ट्रिक मिस कर गए यहाँ पर. व्हाई नॉट अ कुंभ ऐप ऑन द लाइंस ऑफ द कोविन ऐप? कि भाई आयुषी, आपके घर में 4 मेंबर्स हैं, सो यू गेट अ स्लॉट ऑफ 25th of March 3 p.m. घाट नंबर 5। सो ये भी कुछ लोग कह रहे थे। कुछ लोगों ने कहा सर ये पॉसिबल नहीं है, नागा साधुज हैं और बहुत ज्यादा रूरल पॉपुलेशन है और बहुत ज्यादा हाइप है एंड गवर्नमेंट वांटेड पीपल टू कम। सो दोनों साइड्स हैं इसके। बट आई थिंक कुंभ ऐप वुड हैव बीन अ वंडरफुल आइडिया अगर वो चलता, क्योंकि हमने कोविड को भी जो हमने वैक्सीनेट करा पूरे इंडिया को, ऑलमोस्ट 70-80 करोड़ पीपल भी वैक्सीनेटेड इन दी कोविन ऐप। सो अगर कुंभ ऐप होता तो हम आपको स्लॉट दे देते और हम पूरे के पूरे कुंभ को एक ऐप से हम कंट्रोल कर सकते थे। अब अगर मान लीजिए 10 लाख लोग एकदम से एक घाट पर आ जाएं तो ड्रोन भी कुछ नहीं करेगा, पुलिस भी कुछ नहीं कर पाएगी उसमें। और उस दिन वही हुआ था, मौनी अमावस्या हो गया था उस दिन, एंड अ लॉट ऑफ क्राउड रश्ड। मेरे यहाँ से भी चंडीगढ़ से 3 बसें गई थी और उनको 200 किलोमीटर दूर जाम में फंस, मतलब उनको रोक लिया था। तो इतना बड़ा जाम था। अगर वो अपना स्लॉट बुक करके जाते और प्रॉपर तरीके से जाते तो मे बी फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व्ड बेसिस पर वी कुड हैव इनवाइटेड पीपल। तो एंड वी कुड हैव कंट्रोल्ड, वी कुड हैव ओरिएंटेड। रही बात रूरल डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, अगर कोई बंदा ट्रेन की टिकट खरीद सकता है, आधार बना सकता है आज के टाइम में, तो कुंभ का टिकट भी निकलवा ही सकता है। एंड वेयर हैव वी डूइंग दिस? वी बीन डूइंग दिस इन तिरुपति, आप कह सकती हो वैष्णो देवी श्राइन बोर्ड में वी आर डूइंग दिस, तिरुपति बालाजी में वी आर डूइंग इट एट नथुला पास, वी आर डूइंग इट इन हज जब सब्सिडी देते हैं। तो ऑनलाइन तो हम कर ही रहे हैं। वी हैव सिटीजन सेवा केंद्र, वी हैव एसबीआई का रूरल ब्रांचेस, हम कहीं से भी एक कुंभ का टिकट रजिस्टर करवा कर ले सकते थे फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। तो ये कंसेंसस था जनरल हम लोगों का। आप भी ये आइडिया को जरूर अडॉप्ट करें।
Yes.
ओके, रिसेंटली अभी क्या हुआ है, द एमपी गवर्नमेंट हैज डिसाइडेड टू कॉल द अनएम्प्लॉयड यूथ एज एस्पिरेशनल यूथ। They've decided to rename the youth as aspirational. Why this move and what changes would it bring on ground? कि अनएम्प्लॉयड को आप एस्पिरेशनल बोल दो, बेरोजगार को आप आकांक्षी महत्वाकांक्षी बोल दो बस।
Sir, I read this very interesting study once, which said that in some school in Latin America, they do not write pass or fail. They just write pass and not pass yet. So it is a lot. It's a very good psychological initiative, sir. For someone to hear that they are unemployed, is it creates a barrier in itself, sir. And sometimes it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They start
हम्म,
thinking about themselves that there is some problem in me, I am not skilled enough and I am not able to reach that place. But if you say to that person that you are an aspirant, so it sort of shows him or her the path that you are just there and not there yet, but you will be there. So sir,
हम्म,
this is at a micro level. And if you have to think at a macro level, sir, overall, for governance also, sir, it shows us in a good light. It shows in a better light, sir, that these are the people who are our assets. And from unemployed, we become aspirational, we become assets, and we start thinking about them positively.
no wonder why you are an officer. Excellent answer. Now, you were India, or if you were India's ambassador to America, would you consider President Trump as a challenge or as an opportunity? Very simple. And why?
Sir, considering how President Trump has acted in the past, I would refrain from calling him anything, sir. He's neither a challenge nor an opportunity, sir. We have to tackle him as and when he comes, and we have to sort of try to predict his moves and act accordingly, maintaining our best national interest, and to see how we can uh, best manage our relationships, sir. Because he can be both at the same time, sir. Right now, he's talking about the tariffs, the reciprocal tariffs, sir. India has fortunately found an opportunity in that we are trying to negotiate a bilateral trade agreement
Hmm,
where we can also get a lot of market access, especially for our textiles,
hmm,
pharma, and so on, sir. So in that, sir, there is an opportunity. But given that he is very unpredictable and he has backed out from a lot of international institutions, he has told Europe, Canada, who are supposedly very good allies,
hmm.
that I'm not going to support you anymore. I'm taking away the security money. So he's not trustworthy in that regard. So he can be a challenge suddenly. So we have to be alert with him. So that's all I would say with respect to
Have you read
President.
about the new Waqf bill?
Yes, sir. I heard about this.
What are the good things that you like in that, the inclusivity and the diversity of the new act, or what are the challenges and why is the opposition uh, opposing the bill?
I'm sorry, sir, I've not read it in depth, but as much as I know, sir, the one major point is that in Waqf board there will be inclusion of people from other religions, and I think women as well, sir, in
Hmm,
the board. So, sir, this would make it more representative.
hmm,
And, sir, the Waqf properties have not been audited since a long time, and there have been allegations that only certain powerful and vested interests have taken control of them. So, sir, having a more diversified board in auditing those properties can help the utilization of properties for the most needy sections of the society, sir. Regarding the opposition, sir, there have been challenges as to the opposition is saying that why in this particular board there are non-Muslims, and so these are the challenges. But overall, sir, if we have to listen to people on ground, be it from any religion, we have to listen to their views. And I believe, sir, overall they would support this bill because it would make them more inclusive. It would help the property to reach to the most needy, sir.
हाँ, बिल्कुल ठीक आपने रेगुलेशन का और ऑडिटिंग का पॉइंट बोला। ये बोलना कि इवन मुस्लिम्स हैव बिकम मोर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, द माइनॉरिटी हैज बिकम रिप्रेजेंटेड, दे आर choosing a Shia person as well as a Sunni person in that, and the women have also been included, तो gender perspective भी डाल दिया गया। The addition of non-Muslims, आप ऐसे देखो सर, they would act as neutral or as independent directors in a
Okay.
company। जैसे कंपनीज एक्ट ने इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर्स डाल दिए थे, वो भी एक तरह इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर्स का काम करेंगे, आप ऐसा बोल सकती हो। सो माय नेक्स्ट मोनोलॉग कम्स हियर आयुषी। 1 year or probably more than 1 year of death, destruction, loot, fire, rapes, displacement in Manipur. Have we failed as a state there?
Sir, it's a very unfortunate thing which is happening in Manipur. Regarding the failure of the state, sir, I would not call it a failure because, sir, there are some very deep-rooted challenges within the Manipur society itself, sir. Uh, there was only one small spark required, which came from the Manipur High Court regarding the tribal status of the Methi community, sir. But the issue was already there, sir. There are ethnic divisions within the society, and those sort of flared up. And then the arms were looted, and all sorts of violence and crime happened, sir. But,
Hmm.
sir, now we are already returning to normalcy, sir, especially after the president's rule, sir. Many groups have surrendered their arms, and we should continue on this path, sir. Especially, we should make sure that there is no militarization of the society and we are able to catch hold of those looted arms. And on a longer term basis, sir, we have to focus on increasing the trust between the communities, sir. It is a long term process and it will be difficult, sir. But if we have neutral arbiters and trustworthy arbiters whom both the communities can place their faith on, sir, I believe it is possible, sir.
So recently there has been a report regarding why the medical colleges, or just regarding the medical colleges, that they've become the hotspots of ragging. Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir, it is in general. I have read it in news that there is a lot of ragging going on in medical colleges.
So why is it? So why medical colleges? To some extent, the engineering colleges as well, but then why medical colleges?
So there can be two, three reasons for this.
Mm-hmm.
Some medical profession in itself is a very stressful profession, and students who come in the first year, uh, they they come at a very new place, and the second year, third year rights who are already there, they themselves had faced ragging, so they believe that this is a right form of interaction with the juniors, and that sort of culture pervades in the college, and he gets on passed on.
Mm-hmm.
The second factor, sir, is the external control, external mechanisms, anti-ragging mechanisms which we have in place are not uh, functioning very well in these colleges, sir. In my own college, sir, there was a very unfortunate ragging incident which happened, and it was reported, and there were all sorts of news around it, sir. But when the authorities acted, sir, it completely stopped, and we were able to bring first year rights into a very secure place, sir. So, sir, if these external mechanisms, which are already there, if they act very well, sir, I think this can be stopped.
Don't you think that it's a Sas Bahu kind of a power relation? where a super senior becomes a sas, and when a new entry comes to the home, like a bahu in Indian houses, in almost all the Indian houses, then there are issues with that mother-in-law, and she has a sense of entitlement and false pride in her house that she is the queen there, or she is the king there, or she owns the place. Do you think that type of dynamism is also prevalent in the human psychology, that it is happening in the colleges?
So whenever someone suffers from something, for example, the student who suffered from ragging and then went into a senior year, so there can be two responses from that person. I have suffered something, so I will not let others suffer. I have suffered it, so you suffer it too. So, sir, the ones who rag are of the second mindset, sir. But I'm sure, sir, there are many other students who are of the first mindset as well, sir. And to bring all of them to the first mindset, we need a lot of counseling for these senior students, sir, and also the first year students. So these are very impressionable minds, especially when we just enter into college. It's a completely new world. You're transitioning from school. You think that now I can do anything. I have been given more freedom. So at that point of time, if there are good counseling happens, sir, that can really.
So Haryana government has recently given a circular regarding the registration of pregnancies. Not the children, but the early pregnancies have to be registered. Now, how do you see this as a sociologist? Is that not too much infringement into their personal space? Obviously, the intent is to control the female infanticide and everything. But you are asking a very young couple to register their pregnancy. How do you see it? I saw it in today's Hindu on the fourth page. सोचना इसके बारे में आप, ठीक है? You think about it. That's a pretty serious issue, which I feel. Live-in relationships, you must have been asked in many interviews also. Let's talk about it again. Do you think that the Uttarakhand decision to register the live-in couples at the nearest police station is an infringement of their right to privacy under the Puttaswamy judgment, or how do you see it?
Sir, I do not believe that it is an infringement of privacy, sir. Given that, especially in live-in relationships, we have seen a number of cases where the rights of women have been violated. We had the Shraddha Olkar case, and there are issues with having children as well in the relationship, sir. So
Hmm.
if the relationship is registered, it can protect the rights of both the parties,
Hmm.
and later on there won't be such issues arising, sir. Uh, Regarding the aspect of privacy, sir, if two people are in a live-in relationship, they're already staying in a house, and the community sort of knows about it. It doesn't happen, and privacy is something which happens mostly behind the closed doors, sir. And relationships in the society, sir, are mostly known, especially if it's a live-in relationship. So, sir, registering that would actually help the woman, especially the woman in the relationship. So, sir, I believe it's a decision in the right direction.
You say, sir, all the stakeholders, women also and men also, false rape cases
Oh,
लग
yes,
जाते
sir.
हैं.
Yes, sir.
And फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उनके बच्चों को भी सिमिलर राइट्स दिए दैट दे आर एज लेजिटिमेट एज चिल्ड्रन ऑफ मैरिड कपल्स.
Yes,
उनको
sir.
भी राइट्स दिए. एंड देन फिर पुलिस के लिए भी तो आसान है, स्टेट के लिए. सी, मैंने एक बहुत अच्छे एक रिटायर्ड आईएएस ऑफिसर की बात सुन रहा था मैं उस दिन, दिल्ली हम कॉन्वर्स कर रहे थे. वो बोला, तो बोले सर बोले कि अगर हमें पता नहीं होगा तो हम प्रोटेक्ट कैसे करेंगे?
Hmm. Hmm.
If the police doesn't know, or if the state doesn't know, how will the state protect?
Hmm.
And then he also guided the child, because she said वो पूरी activist बन गई. She said, sir, definitely it's a privacy concern and ये वो and all that. The matter is sub judice. I'm sure it will be struck down null and void by the judiciary. वो बहुत कुछ बोल गई. But उन्होंने सर ने समझाया, बोले देखो, अगर कोई पॉलिसी बनी है तो दो चार रिटायर्ड जज बैठे होंगे, तुम जैसे दो चार सोशियोलॉजिस्ट फेमिनिस्ट बैठे होंगे, मैडम इंदिरा जयसिंह जैसी कोई लॉयर बैठी होगी, पॉलिसी मेकर्स बैठे होंगे, एक आधा नीति आयोग का थिंक टैंक का बंदा आएगा, तब जाकर उन्होंने एक पॉलिसी बनाई होगी. और हम इतनी आसानी से उसको सर्टिफाई ना करें कि ये बुरा है. मतलब ये भी एक बात है कि सरकार ने बनाया तो सोच कर बनाया होगा. ये भी एक
Yes.
बिल्कुल है ना. बिल्कुल ठीक. परफेक्ट. ये रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ प्रेगनेंसीज पढ़ना, क्योंकि ये चौथे आज आया है, बहुत बड़ा आया है. एंड देन देयर आर कंसर्न्स. ठीक है. नाउ I bring your notice back to the three language policy. The NEP 2020 gives a new liberal three language formula that a student, a state, or a region or a school have absolute autonomy to choose any of the three languages, given that two out of the three languages have to be native to that country, native to our country. Though native, baki kuch bhi aap chun lo. So, what issues does Tamil Nadu have? Given that Karnataka is also implementing a wonderfully well three language policy, they are learning Hindi, even in Telangana, even in Andhra Pradesh, people are learning Hindi. So, why Tamil Nadu?
Sir, Tamil Nadu government is raising the issue that they believe that three language policy is imposition of Hindi on Tamil. But as we discussed, sir, the policy in itself never says that you have to teach Hindi. You can teach any
Any language?
native Indian language.
Hmm.
Sir, I believe the issue is more historical, sir. In the past, also, we have seen that Tamil Nadu has been the center of agitation with respect to language, sir. And language is something which people hold very dear to their heart, and it's a very emotional topic for them, sir. So, sir, it's more around that historical perspective around the contestation between Tamil and Hindi. So, sir, what we should do in this regard is that we have to understand what people of Tamil Nadu want. And as far as I understand, sir, they would really want to learn different languages apart from Tamil and English, sir. And especially Hindi, sir, which connects different regions, different parts of our country. So, sir, consultation with the Tamil Nadu government, with the people of Tamil Nadu, and assurance would help in this regards.
Yeah, and telling them that we are not imposing Hindi. You choose
Yes.
Telugu, you choose Kannada, you choose any
Yes.
language. It's not necessary that you choose Hindi. And then there is another issue, jo aap bolna, sir, even if they are saying that we don't have the infrastructure, we can't pay the teachers, we can't have the examinations for the third language. Sir, it is only a temporary phenomenon. The third language is not taught for lifetime or the entire life of the child. Sir, we may have an online thing. हम ऑनलाइन भी तो पढ़ा सकते हैं ना एक सब्जेक्ट को. लेट्स से आई वांट टू लर्न बंगाली इन तमिलनाडु. एक मैं तमिल पढ़ रहा हूँ, एक मैं इंग्लिश पढ़ रहा हूँ, दूसरी लैंग्वेज मैं बंगाली चुन लेता हूँ, तो मैं आपसे ऑनलाइन लेक्चर ले लूंगा. वेरी सिंपल. आज टेक्नोलॉजी के मुझे खर्चा कब होगा? जब टीचर के लिए रहना खाना पीना करना पड़ेगा, जब मुझे बंगाल से टीचर मंगवाने पड़ेंगे, है ना, या तमिल में कुछ ढूंढने पड़ेंगे टीचर्स. बट जब ऑनलाइन हो गया फिर तो मैं, एंड स्वयं पोर्टल पर तो वैसे ही हर लैंग्वेज आप फ्री में सीख सकते हैं. आप ये व्यू भी दीजिएगा अपना. That's it for the second native language. The first native language, Tamil Nadu, is already there. They're already teaching. The third language is the English, which they're already teaching. Sir, they need to be convinced for the second native language, and all states can follow the suit that if they do not have the infrastructure, they can go online. Very simple. They can use the edtechs. ठीक है? आप ऐसे उसको बोलेंगी. Now, are you aware of the LG versus Delhi government controversy, the triple chain of accountability judgment?
Yes, sir.
Please tell me about it. What is triple chain of accountability?
So the Honorable Supreme Court talked about this. They say that the elected representatives are they're responsible to the public, and so this forms the first chain. Then these elected representatives are responsible to their assembly. This forms the second chain, and so the public goes to the executive, executive goes to the legislature, and
So, LG has to work on the advice of the SCOM, State Council of Ministers. SCOM is
yes, sir.
responsible to the Delhi Vidhan Sabha. Delhi
And
Vidhan
Vidhan
Sabha is responsible to the, तो
public.
LG को, हाँ, is to the public. तो तीन चेंज होगी. तो LG को एडवाइस पर ही काम करना है स्टेट काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स के, बिकॉज दे आर द चोजन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स. बिल्कुल ठीक है. But now they are saying, now there are concerns that since there is a change of regime, I'm asking you a very political question, maybe wo na puche, but there are voices that again the powers of LG would be toned down since there is a similar party at the center and a similar party in the state. So, and this has been a long drawn problem. Even the Sarkaria and the Panchi Commission have talked about the powers of governor. So, what can be a permanent solution to this? Governor.
Sir, so for solving this tussle between LG and elected government, sir, we need to have more objective criteria on what exactly is the power of each. Sir, Honorable Supreme Court has given a judgment that LG has to follow the aid and advice of the ministers, and that must be followed in both letter and spirit, sir. That is the best solution that can come, sir. If and Sir, even if there is law, even if there is guidelines, the better solution to this is to follow it in spirit, sir. We already have a very good system in place, but that is at times not followed. Sir, following that would be a more permanent solution.
Hmm. ठीक है. And what about the governor being the chancellor of the universities? Should he be again waived off of these powers? Because again, the states are complaining.
Sir, we should look this issue from the perspective of the universities, sir. In the end, between this tussle of state and governors, so the universities lose out on having good vice chancellors and they suffer from a lack of leadership. So, sir, if we have what we can do is have a better search and selection committee on the advice of both the government and the governors, sir. They should together sit and decide what can be the search and selection committee, and then they choose a better best vice chancellor for the university. So the collaboration between the two parties is what is the need of the hour, sir. Because in the end, the universities are the ones which suffer.
Ayushi, you worked in a private sector corporate world as well, and now you're working in a government sector as well. So, what is the difference in the work culture that you experienced?
So with respect to government sectors, I have not yet worked on ground. I've only seen the training aspect,
But
sir.
you must have studied in the ethics part 4. So, tell us.
Sir, in the work culture aspects of the difference, so the first difference is the purpose with which we work. So the purpose in the private sector is for the shareholder management, maximizing the profit of the shareholders. And the
Hmm.
purpose with which we work in government is for public service. Even
Hmm.
if the avenue is not profitable, we do it for the sake of people and we must do it for that, sir.
Hmm.
Another difference would be, sir, continuing from this one in the private sector, sir, there's a lot of focus on efficiency.
Hmm.
Everything is very quantifiable and we focus on achieving the outputs. On
Hmm.
the other hand, sir, in the government sector, the focus is more on outcomes, sir, and not the output per se. If we are able to achieve a good qualitative outcome for the people, sir. For example, sir, if we are providing midday meals in schools, we cannot quantitatively measure what is the impact, but in the qualitative manner, in the long run, we'll have healthier students, we'll have healthy mothers, we'll have healthy children, we'll have an empowered human capital, sir. So this qualitative focus is more in the government sector, sir. And
Hmm.
Sir, another difference which I find is regarding the hierarchy, sir, especially with respect to the institution I worked in, sir.
Hmm.
Uh, Sir, there I saw a little less of hierarchy. I saw more collaborations happening in the private sector. Even someone as me who joined at a very entry level, I could directly interact with someone very senior and suggest my views.
Hmm.
However, sir, in the government sector, there is more discipline and there is a chain of command which must be respected and which must be followed, sir.
Hmm. आप इसको
Overall,
मैट्रिक्स मॉडल बता देना. मैट्रिक्स मॉडल मीन्स एवरीवन इज ऑन द सेम मैट्रिक्स. The peon or the CEO of the company are on the same platform, a 2D मैट्रिक्स. तो वो कहीं से भी घूमकर कोई भी बंदा किसी के पास भी जा सकता है, लाइक ए चेस बोर्ड. जैसे चेस बोर्ड हॉरिजॉन्टल होता है ना, सब बराबर होते हैं, रानी
yes,
भी बराबर होती है, प्यादा भी बराबर होता है, और सब लोग इंटरेक्शन कर सकते हैं. तो
yes.
प्राइवेट मैनेजमेंट उसी तरीके से काम करती है, वेर एज गवर्नमेंट इज कुतुब मीनार, टॉप टू बॉटम. है ना? तो आप ये चीजें बोल सकती हैं वहां पर. कुतुब मीनार ना बोलो, लेकिन चेस बोर्ड मॉडल तो आप बोल ही सकती हैं. चलिए, let's talk about the river interlinking now. Now that you are enlightened, Ayushi, I'm sure you know that there are several concerns. First of all, the rivers are already drying, the basins are drying up, the groundwater is depleting. Secondly, there are some environmental concerns in river interlinking projects. Thirdly, they are very capital intensive, and then they have a long gestation period. Do you think that we are going a little flawed with respect to the river interlinkage projects in areas like Bundelkhand and other areas in the south, in the Rajasthan, in the Gujarat, with the Narmada? What are we doing?
So definitely there are challenges with river interlinkages, sir.
Hmm.
But sir, I believe that overall we should proceed with this
Hmm.
uh, interlinking of rivers, sir.
Hmm.
Because sir, in the long run, we want to help our people. There are in the Bundelkhand region, for example, sir, there are very basic needs of irrigation, of drinking water, and the scarcity of water is a very major problem there. And
Hmm.
if we have linking of rivers from one excess water to the deficient water, sir, it can help those people. And there are challenges, sir, definitely, and there are challenges in every project that we start. There will be environmental challenges, capital challenges, sir, but those can be resolved via various methods, sir. We can get local communities in our confidence. We can discuss with a number of experts uh, how can we make a method which is best in minimizing the damage to the environment. We have environmental impact EIA assessments already in place, sir. We have afforestation models in place, sir. We can utilize those to overcome these challenges, sir, and we must focus on the positives which we can gain from these models.
Hmm. What about the level of debates in parliament and on the TV channels? My first question is regarding the parliamentary debates. Are we undoing them, or are we guillotining all the bills and without discussing, we are even bypassing the committees? So, first question is this. And second question is the TV debates. Should we regulate them? Because they are also creating a lot of havoc and presenting views as news, and they are starting with an agenda, and they are also ट्राइंग दी पर्सन मीडिया ट्रायल हो रहा है वहां पर पहला पार्लियामेंट्री डिबेट्स दूसरा टीवी चैनल डिबेट्स
Sir, on the parliamentary debates, sir, there are definitely certain challenges, sir. We have seen that at times the number of days on which discussion happens are reduced, or sometimes the discussion are not of good quality. There are at times even people going into the well of the house as well, sloganeering, sir. But
हम्म
overall, sir, this is what makes our democracy in the end stronger, sir. There, our parliament gives the freedom to someone from an opposition party to do that, sir, and that shows how strong, how what a strong democracy we are. And in on the quality aspect, sir, if we see the discussions in the committees, sir, even in the committee, if there is someone from the same party as the ruling party and they are actually raising very good issues with the bills, and those are being incorporated in the bills. It's a very major bills like even the Waqf Board bill, the simultaneous elections bill. These have been passed on to committees, the data protection bills, and there have been very good suggestions. So that the quality still remains. And in those committees, sir, those kind of discussions actually add a lot of value, sir. On the TV debates aspect, sir, where there are media trials and so on going on, sir. Uh, Sir, with respect to this fourth pillar of democracy, sir, I believe more than some kind of strict regulation, we need more ethical regulation and code of ethics and self-regulation in that regard, sir.
हम्म
Uh, because if we try to regulate too much, there will be a lot of allegations on stifling of the press freedom, and so on, sir. And it is the judgment of both the media as well as the viewers to show what is in true light and stick to the ethics of the media, sir. But if definitely, sir, if it goes beyond a point and if they start circulating fake things and if they start circulating things which can disturb the peace and law and order, sir, definitely we must come in. And we have laws in place to regulate that.
हम्म डार्क कॉमेडीज व्हाट आर दोस
So dark comedy, as far as I understand, would be something, sir, that uh, brings in humor through very, uh, what would I say, sir? Not so humorous places, sir. They would talk about death, darkness, and things which we would normally be very sensitive about and think of uh, in a not so happy way, and they would sort of make it funny. For example, sir, I don't remember the name, but I saw this one piece where someone was making fun of disabled people, and they sort of call it dark comedies.
सो इज द इंडियन सोसाइटी नॉट रेडी फॉर देम द डार्क कॉमेडीज यू आर अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी
Sir, if I have to see from this genre of comedy, sir, so dark comedy is very, very niche topic. And only few people can do it, and only few people can understand it. And As I see it, sir, our society is very diverse. Our main concern is to maintain the social cohesion, sir. And if this dark comedy can hurt the sentiments of the people, which can result in law and order issues, or which can result in disturbing the peace, sir, it must be controlled to a certain extent, sir.
Would you want to bring the web series content under the CBFC? You watch movies on web series on Netflix and Amazon Prime and all those social media OTT platforms. So, would you want to bring them under the CBFC radar? Just as we are pre-censoring our movies, the Bollywood movies, by the CBFC. Similarly, any movie to be gone on the web series, to be gone on the to be portrayed on the Netflix should also come under that radar, the same regulator, because ultimately we are watching a movie. And if the theater movie is regulated, so should be the laptop movie. What do you think?
So right now for OTT platforms, we do have this IT intermediary and ethics rules in place, which provide three levels of regulation in terms of self-regulation, vigilance, redressal, and then the government.
Hmm.
Sir, if CBFC should be involved or not, sir. Sir, at this point of time, I do not think sir CBFC is required. We have a lot of creativity happening in this space, and if each and every movie and web series which are coming in a lot of very high number, if they have to go through the process of CBFC, sir, it might hamper the creative freedom. First aspect, sir. And the second thing is, sir, the theater movies reach out to a very larger audience as compared to one OTT movie or web series. So though their reach is definitely increasing now, but reach of the theaters are much more. So, sir, in that aspect, we require CBFC for the time being. Sir, for right now, sir, I think this self-regulation and three levels of regulations are good enough for the OTT platforms.
Are you IITians doing injustice to the common normal students? Because only you people are qualifying the civil services. And IIT Kanpur is a manufacturing, IAS manufacturing factory it has become. What is there some nexus under going on? Because in India, if something good happens, we only think that कुछ तो होगा गड़बड़, मतलब कुछ तो तुम्हें मिल रहा होगा तुम लोगों को. And Kanpur है, UP है, so papers are also being leaked and so many things are happening. So I'm not going to that extent. Jokes apart, why IIT Kanpur? Tell me.
Sir, I just wanted to clarify why IIT Kanpur is producing so many civil servants.
यस यस यस, सिर्फ इतना ही. और तो मैं ऐसे ही बोल रहा था इधर उधर की बातें. लेकिन हाँ, मतलब क्यों आईआईटीज क्यों बन रहे हैं? चलो, इन जनरल ऑल्सो आईआईटीज आर प्रोड्यूसिंग अ लॉट ऑफ आईएएस ऑफिसर्स. इस बार आई थिंक दिस इज द 100th डैप व्हिच आई हैव गॉट, एंड तुम भी आईआईटीएन निकले. तो आई फील दैट इट्स अ सेंस ऑफ, आई डोंट नो, मतलब हाउ डू आई एक्सप्लेन इट. क्योंकि आईआईटीज में पढ़ाए जाते हैं सारे के सारे साइंस सब्जेक्ट्स. साइंस हैज a minimal relevance in civil services, I would say. It is still a humanities dominated exam, kuch had tak, because we are already talking about the socio-political, economic, geographical issues, but not the scientific issues per se. So why and how? What's the magic?
Sir, firstly, I would say, sir, though there is a perception that a lot of IITians clear this exam, sir, but the commission has made this exam so equitable that people from all sorts of background are clearing it and achieving top ranks as well, sir. And as far as IIT is concerned, sir, one thing which really helps in IIT is the environment which is given, sir. With such good minds around you and the analytical capabilities which are developed in the institute, the overall personality which gets developed, and the most important things that I gained from IIT was to have faith in myself that if I can do this, I can do everything. That sort of self belief is very well developed in IIT, sir. And any institution is and actually doing it, sir. We have students coming from all sorts of institutions clearing this exam, sir, and becoming best civil servants of the country.
Chalo. So you've defended it well. Now, IITs have expanded. When I did it, it was only, I think, 5 to 7. 5 IITs hote the or BHU and Dhanbad, so 7 at max. And I did not get anything in my 3000 rank. I got mining or carpet, maybe very poor, neglected streams. I did not take them. So abhi the IITs have expanded. I think there are more than 15 to 20 IITs right now as of now. So my first question is, should we expand them? And but it creates a brand IIT, which actually I think reduces the elegance or the elitism in those. First of all, I feel that the brand takes a hit when it becomes a common thing. In every city there is an IIT. So the differences between IITIs and IITs would be dissolved. मुझे ऐसा लगता है, first thing. हाँ, वैसे I'm saying a very extreme thing, but yes, metaphorically. My second question is, what about the other engineering colleges जिनमें seats अभी तक vacant पड़ी हैं? What are we doing for them? Here we are expanding the IITs, and there we are not tackling the seats are vacant in those engineering colleges. So how to address these both issues?
Sir, on the first aspect, sir, I believe expanding IITs is actually a very good idea. Even despite having 23 IITs right now, sir, from a very big chunk of students who take the exam, only a very minimal percentage clears the exam, sir. And we have a lot of good minds who would want to pursue engineering, not being able to do so. And if we have more IITs, sir, it can attract more funds. It can
Hmm.
have best of the faculties from across the country and from even from abroad, and that kind of peer environment which is given, sir, to more number of students. On the second aspect, sir, in the engineering colleges, the seats are vacant, sir. It's probably because of the fact that uh, those engineering colleges are not able to produce students with skills good enough to get a job in the market later on. So, sir, if we have to uh, fill those seats, if so those engineering colleges must have to adapt with the needs of the time, sir, and have to have better faculty, better updated curriculums with the needs of the industry and the engineering society, sir, which requires, for example, sir, right now in computer science we have to get updated to AI, and those kind of things must be taught in the colleges, sir, to make our students more updated, and we have to invest in those state level engineering colleges as well.
So how can the IITs help in this regard? They can become the mother institutions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. These kind of collaborations between IITs and state level colleges can be very fruitful, sir.
Hmm. You did not pursue with electrical engineering, or is electrical engineering not available as an optional?
Sir, it is available as an option, sir, but I did not pursue it. I chose sociology.
But what was the reason? Love for sociology, or just to clear this exam, a utilitarian view of sociology?
Sir, I took sociology in my college also, sir. We had to take compulsorily take humanities courses. And that was the only subject where I got A star. I got A's in multiple subjects, but A star, I was the topper of my batch in that course. And it was not because I studied too much, but I really liked that subject. So,
Hmm.
sir, I realized that it is a subject where I can score and where I have a lot of interest as well. So, sir, I chose it.
So art and culture, you got that excellence award in your college as well. It actually represents India's soft power. So tell me about soft power. That is it beneficial in the foreign policy, or it has its limitations, or what? Like, should we pursue only soft power and not think about hard power, because soft power is free and hard power entails a lot of money? What should we do?
Sir, soft power refers to the culture, cuisine, films, and so on, everything of a society, sir, and doesn't talk about the hard power of military and economy.
Hmm.
And these kind of things, the soft power helps one country to influence the other country. For example, our Bollywood is very famous across the world, so that is something soft power.
Hmm.
On the other hand, sir, what should we do around it? Sir, it has to be balanced with the hard power. We can definitely not choose a path where we only pursue soft power. We have a
Hmm.
lot of capital on that and we must pursue. We are the land of birth of many religions. We have extremely diverse cuisine, a lot of languages, very good tourism. We must pursue that, and that can definitely help us uh, gain a good hand in influencing the
Hmm.
people and maintaining our credibility. But
Hmm.
that is only one side of the coin, sir.
Hmm.
In today's world and in general in international relations, sir, hard power matters a lot. In the end, countries negotiate on economy and security, sir. And these two aspects must be kept in mind.
Hmm. So names are being changed in UP. What do you think? What is better, Allahabad or Prayagraj?
Sir, any name is better, sir, as long as it is the will of the people. If they want to If they believe that they want to change the name of the place, we must be ready to name of the
Ayushi, the administrative costs in changing this name were almost 500 to 600 crores.
yes.
It could have been better used for, revamping of the hospitals and sanitary provisions and the roads and everything. So how do you see it? Is it not a waste of expenditure? Just because people are saying, to kar do.
Sir, when we think of state and governance, we have to fulfill uh, multiple needs and demands of the people, sir. And health, education, everything is important, sir. And culture is also one aspect which is very important to
Hmm,
people, sir. And
hmm,
if we are listening to them, changing name of a city is an
hmm,
aspect of the cultural tradition, sir. And if
hmm,
we are able to fulfill their cultural demands, their cultural needs, sir, it
hmm.
increases the trust of the people in the government, sir, and they become more participative. And this is also a part of governance, sir. And I do not believe, sir, it's a waste of money. It is just how we are deciding to spend that money, how we are deciding to fulfill people's needs. This is one of their needs, sir, and we are fulfilling.
एक चीज यहाँ पर ऐड कर देना सर वी शुड ऑल्सो गिव द पीपल ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेस अ मॉरल प्लेज दैट मेक प्रयागराज अ बेटर सिटी दैन Allahabad. How on ground? Stop spitting on ground. Stop defecating in open. Become more law-abiding citizens. Become more communally harmonious citizens. Social fabric, social capital को enhance करें आप. तब जाकर आप खुद भी प्रयागराज को enjoy कर पाएंगे अच्छा. Just give them a moral pledge. So now Ayushi, my next question. Are you okay with the questions अभी और चलने दूं? कोई वो तो
Yes, sir.
नहीं?
Yes, sir.
मेरा तो
नहीं,
दिल है
yes.
आपको पूछने का और मुझे मजा आ रहा है. So
Yes,
I
sir. Yes, sir.
चलो
Definitely, sir.
चलो चलो ठीक है. So now we are subsidizing the poor and we are giving tax holidays to the richest people in India or the corporates. Where is the middle class? Are we not thinking about it?
So we are definitely thinking about middle class. So the recent tax exemptions which came in the budget up to 12 lakhs,
Hmm,
the tax rebates, sir, it is thinking about middle class, sir.
hmm,
Our economy is a consumption-driven economy, sir, and middle class drives it a lot. Uh,
hmm,
this is one thing, sir.
hmm,
Another thing is, sir, the different schemes around entrepreneurship, sir, the Startup India scheme, the Mudra loans, they sort of also uh, are projected towards the middle class, sir. And
hmm.
thirdly, sir, the other schemes as well, sir, the PM Awas Yojana, Jal Jeevan Mission, Swachh Bharat, everything, sir, it sort of wants the people who are in the lower segments of the society to reach the middle class, sir, and raise their per capita incomes. So overall, in a way, sir, everything is in the end focused around middle class increase.
Hmm. What about the revolution in the Delhi schools? Did you experience something when you went there in the schools of Delhi? Because a lot of hype had been created around it that the education in the public schools of Delhi or the Delhi school curriculum has been changed, and there has also been a happiness curriculum in there. So, did you feel as a student that there was some change in your 12th standard?
Sir, I was there in 2015. I passed out, sir. Uh,
Okay. उसके
sir,
बाद ही
and
सब कुछ हुआ है केजरीवाल.
mostly
ओके ओके मुझे
and
क्वेश्चन
so
पूछ.
these changes happened in government school mostly, sir. I was in a private school.
ओके यू वर इन अ प्राइवेट स्कूल सो वैसे इन जनरल यू वांट टू टॉक अबाउट इट द हैप्पीनेस करिकुलम तुम्हारे एमपी में भी है और दिल्ली में भी है.
Sir, it's a very good idea, sir. Children are very impressionable, and at young age, sir, like we discussed in the very beginning, adolescent mind, which faces bullying and pressures as well. So these kind of curriculums can help them to understand the values, their role as citizens, increase the trust between students and teachers as well, sir, and make them feel more happy, sir, which is our overall aim.
So Ayushi, Sanskritization is seen as a good progressive phenomena where the so-called the lower castes they start aping the upper castes or the so-called the backward sections start aping the upper sections and they try to mingle in their economy, their society, and their culture. Are there any negative sides to it as well? Sanskritization, MN Srinivas, you know it.
Sir, the one thing I really don't like about Sanskritization is, sir, it doesn't talk about structural change. It the structure of hierarchy that there is someone above and someone below based on birth still
Hmm.
remains. There are few individuals who climb upon this ladder, but the ladder is still there, sir. And we would want to imagine a society where people are equal and people are not in a hierarchy based on caste, sir. So that is an issue, I believe, with Sanskritization.
एक और इशू भी है कि वो दूसरे की लैडर पर या वो लैडर के ऊपर चढ़ने पर वो अपनी खुद की आइडेंटिटी को क्राइसिस में डाल
Hmm.
देते हैं. दे हैव क्राइसिस ऑफ देयर ओन आइडेंटिटी. ये चीज आप बोल सकती हैं यहाँ पे. सो ओके, नाउ यू आर द फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी ऑफ इंडिया अगेन. हाउ डू यू डील विद एन एग्रेसिव चाइना इन 3 policy steps?
Sir, we have to engage with China on multiple fronts. Sir, the first would be the economic front. We have a major trade relation with
Hmm.
China,
Hmm.
and there is a large deficit as well.
Hmm.
So, sir, we have to, and especially, sir, on critical minerals aspect. Sir, in these aspects, sir, we have to think about diversifying our supply chains and try to become as self-sufficient as possible. Sir, the first would be this. The second would be, sir, the security issue. Sir, we are already handling that in a very good manner, sir.
Hmm.
On our borders, the tensions have mostly resolved to a large extent due to diplomatic intervention, sir, and that must continue, sir, so that there is no further flare up and no chance of any further flare up in on the
Hmm.
security aspect.
Hmm.
And in the security aspect only, sir, we have to modernize our military, sir. We cannot wait for the day when something happens and then we react. We have to be well prepared in advance, and we have to spend on defense. There is no other alternative to that, sir. Um, Another aspect in dealing with China, sir, is how do we deal with rest of the world? China is trying to take our space, sir, in South Asia, where we have been the first responders, the main security providers, sir. It is trying to increase its hold in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, and we have to maintain that hold with our neighbors, especially, sir.
Hmm.
So, sir, dealing with these countries is important if we have to deal with China, sir. And the fourth would be how we deal with the developed nations, sir, who are trying to diversify away from China and they are already not in a very good relationship with that. So we
Hmm.
can capitalize on that. How do we fill that space which has been created by China's aggressive stance?
One another economic question I would ask you. China plus one strategy was in news, and we rolled out a 23 to $25 billion PLI scheme so that the factories come here. Recently, again, there was a report in the Hindu that the scheme hasn't taken off. So, and the government is now not much jubilant about it. So, why has the scheme? Why could we not capitalize on it? We had a golden chance. The Vietnam did, the other Southeast Asian countries did, Thailand did it beautifully, Laos, even Laos did it. We couldn't do it.
Sir, with respect to manufacturing, sir, the PLI scheme succeeded very well in the mobile phones aspect, sir. But in rest of the sectors, uh, sir, one reason is the regulations, excessive regulations which are there in the manufacturing sector, which sometimes hamper it, sir.
Hmm.
Another aspect is, sir, I believe we need to decentralize manufacturing a lot. For example, sir, in Tamil Nadu, I read this article where they are focusing on non-leather footwear, and they made a very specific strategy for it. They collaborated with Hong Kong and Taiwanese, I think, investors. They deputed an expert to collaborate with them, handled all their concerns, and then we got investment. So
Hmm.
these kind of specific strategies with a decentralized mode in different regions in different states, instead of one centralized strategy where we are funding based on investment and the scale of operations, sir, which might be difficult to achieve, would be a better way to go, sir. And we succeeded in the mobile phones aspect, sir. So it shows us that something was very good about PLI. It worked in one sector because in mobile phones, sir, Tamil Nadu and UP government pushed a lot, and it was due to the very proactive effort of the state governments that these mobile phones succeeded. So, sir, in rest of the sectors also, sir, we need more and more intervention of the state governments. Another reason could have been, sir, the very other reasons which we in general have in manufacturing, so the lack of skilled labor for that particular advanced sectors, and raw materials which we need for critical minerals and so on. So those could have been other reasons.
ठीक है, perfect. Now again, Dholera Smart City, Gujarat. Tata and Renew Energy are opening their semiconductor plant, fabrication plant on the nanometer scale. They've started their work. They've even cut out one major issue, that was the energy. They've got the electricity from a huge solar power plant. What other challenges will they experience in Dholera for semiconductor manufacturing? Dholera, Gujarat.
So semiconductor manufacturing is a very capital intensive
Hmm.
field. So the
Hmm.
first thing they'll need is a lot of capital. So the second is it requires high quality, clean distilled water in large quantity. So that might be another issue.
Very good.
So the third thing is the technology in itself is very niche, sir, and we need to have good quality, very good machines to manufacture semiconductors, and procuring those machines in itself could be a challenge, sir. Um that could be another issue, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. What is Edward Said's concept of Orientalism? Have you heard about it?
I'm sorry, sir.
ओके, कोई बात नहीं. एक आई आस्क यू अनदर थिंग. ओके, आपको हैना अरेंट तो नहीं आता है? आपको सोसाइटी में सोशियोलॉजी में नहीं पढ़ाते हैं हैना अरेंट के बारे में?
So the banality of evil.
Yeah, that concept I wanted to focus upon. Are you aware of the concept?
Yes, sir. Sir, I read it in ethics, sir.
Okay, you read it in ethics. Can you relate it to something going on in world at the present times? The banality of evil.
Sir, I see it in the context of the Israel-Palestine war, which is going on, sir.
And the
Uh,
Russia-Ukraine war also.
Russia-Ukraine war also. Sir, all sorts of wars, sir.
हाँ.
Seemingly ordinary people who are just saying we are obeying the commands of the authority
हम्म.
are doing very heinous crimes on
ये अभी
grounds.
पूछा है एक, मेरे आईपीएस को ही पूछा है, पुराने तुम्हारे ऑफिसर को ही, बेनालिटी ऑफ ईविल. तो तभी मैंने तुम्हें, क्योंकि उसका भी ऑप्शनल, उसका तो कोई और मैथमेटिक्स ऑप्शनल वगैरह था शायद. तो ही वाज शॉक्ड एकदम कि सर ये, मैंने कहा अरे पॉल साइंस में पढ़ाते हैं हम लोग हैना अरेंट को अच्छे से
Sir, it
डिटेल.
was taught in academy also in
अच्छा,
one of the subjects, yes, sir.
मे बी. तो व्हाई डिड ही मिस? आई डोंट नो हाउ. मे बी वो अटेंटिव नहीं होगा या उस टाइम रिकॉल नहीं कर पाया होगा, मे बी कोई कारण हो गया. ओके, व्हाट अबाउट द खालिस्तान इशू? हैव वी टैकल्ड इट नाइसली और देयर आर स्टिल अंडरकरेंट्स इन इंडिया? व्हाट आर वी डूइंग? And considering that it has a presence in Canada, Australia, America, and other countries.
Sir, with respect to the Khalistan separatism issue, sir,
Hmm.
as I see it, it is mostly focused on the foreign countries. And we are tackling that very well on our diplomatic bilateral relations level, sir. Different honorable ministers have raised the issues with their counterparts. We
Hmm.
have been trying to get these organizations
Hmm.
blacklisted as terrorist organizations, sir.
Hmm.
On our ground issues, sir, within the country, sir, we are very much peaceful. As far as our country is concerned, sir, by and large, within the Punjab region, sir, we do not see these undercurrents happening now of wanting to separate from the country, sir. We are very well united within the country, sir. It's
There was
peaceful.
a separatist leader, that Amrit Pal Singh, who won the elections. So how can we say that we are tackling it?
Sir, there can be certain fringe elements, sir, and he might have even won the election, sir. I don't know, sir, how those elections proceeded, who was contesting against them, what kind of options people had. But
Hmm.
overall, sir, on ground, if we see the voices from people, sir,
Hmm.
we are not seeing such kind of issues, sir. We saw large farm bill agitation coming
Hmm.
from that region, sir, but never once was this issue raised in that agitation. Has there been a demand from the public, sir? It was a very fertile ground to raise that issue, but there was no such issue, sir. The farmers raised the issue related to the farming only, sir, and no, not even from the government side, not even from the people side. Nowhere we see such issue coming from the people.
So post 370 Ladakh, what are the issues? Why is it demanding the sixth schedule?
Sir, Ladakis are demanding sixth schedule because they want to preserve their language, their culture, and they believe that having that status would
Hmm.
help them to better develop economically as well as preserve their cultures.
Hmm. So why not fifth schedule?
So fifth schedule refers to the scheduled tribal areas in the specific pockets,
Hmm.
while the sixth schedule talks about specific states based on their inherent tribal population, sir. So, sir, as far as I understand it, fifth schedule would only make a certain area of the state, area of that UT scheduled area, but while the sixth schedule can make the
फिफ्थ शेड्यूल में उनको सिर्फ ट्राइबल एडवाइजरी काउंसिल मिलेंगे, वो सिर्फ स्टेट को एडवाइज कर पाएंगे और कुछ नहीं। लेकिन सिक्स शेड्यूल ऑटोनॉमस डिस्ट्रिक्ट दे देगा, जिसमें वो एक छोटे से कंट्री की तरह भी काम कर सकते हैं। वो अपने कोर्ट्स भी बना सकते हैं, वो अपने पुलिस स्टेशन, अपना लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिस्टम, सब कुछ, मतलब लेजिस्लेटिव, एग्जीक्यूटिव, जुडिशरी, वो अपना एक छोटे से पॉकेट में कर सकते हैं। जैसे गोरखास को दे दिया हमने, या बोडोज को दिया, सॉरी गोरखास को नहीं, बोडोज को दिया है ना, ऑटोनॉमस डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स बनाए थे। तो वहां एडवाइजरी काउंसिल ओनली फिफ्थ शेड्यूल में, तो एडवाइस तो फिर क्या ही करेंगे, तो ऑटोनॉमस डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स मिलने का ज्यादा फायदा है। सो
yes.
सिक्स शेड्यूल गिव्स अ लॉट मोर ऑटोनॉमी टू देम। ये छोटा सा क्वेश्चन था। नाउ मैडम, व्हाट अबाउट द पोस्ट 370 कश्मीर, हाउ डू यू सी इट, एंड इवन इन द बैकड्रॉप ऑफ our honorable external affairs minister saying that POK's problems would all be solved, Kashmir problems would all be solved if Pakistan vacates the POK. So he said a big statement in UK. So how do you see all that?
So the abrogation of 370 is a very, very good step, sir, in my opinion.
Hmm.
And post that, sir, we are seeing that on the security issues, sir, there have been no stone pelting issues.
Hmm.
There has been a peaceful atmosphere in the Kashmir region, sir. On the economic front also, sir, more investment is coming, sir. As far as I know, I think from UAE or some Gulf country, there were talks of foreign investment as well in the region, sir.
Hmm.
And thirdly, sir, in the mindset aspect also, sir, this we have to bring this culture where we all believe that we are part of one country. We are, and Kashmir is an integral part of our country, sir. An abrogation of 370 only makes that view much, much stronger and helps us to hold more ground, sir. So that is one thing. Uh, on the second front, sir, I'm sorry, sir, I'm missing the second question.
POK vacation.
POK, yes, sir.
Is Pakistan going to vacate? I don't think so.
So Pakistan must vacate, sir. It is illegally occupying our territory. They must vacate. But that is a challenge for right now, sir. And we have to
And what about
tackle it.
excision? Can we also think about excision?
Sir, Aksai is also Indian territory, sir. And that must be vacated as well. But for right now, sir, if we have to think pragmatically, we cannot go very aggressive there, sir. We are trying to resolve other border issues with China, and we must focus on that. And if we bring that issue, it can possibly open a more Pandora's box, sir. But we must maintain our stance that these areas are integral to our Indian territory, sir, and they have been illegally occupied by other countries.
So Kuno National Park, that cheetah introduction project, has it been successful?
So by and large, it has been quite successful, sir. A number of cheetahs have been led into the wild, sir, and there
Hmm.
have been birth of cubs. And though there were deaths in the beginning as well, sir, but it has been found that with cheetah population in the beginning and during their relocation, the
Hmm.
survival rate is actually quite low. And despite them coming to a new place, sir, we are seeing a good, healthy cub population as well, and they are moving
MP
into
has
wild.
a lot of other parks. Why Kuno?
Sir, sir, one reason could be, sir, these cheetahs were coming from the South African region, Namibia and South Africa, and they need a very large space to run, and they need grasslands, and Kuno provided a very good atmosphere for that. Secondly, sir, the prey which is needed for cheetah population was also present in the Kuno region, sir. So, sir, it provided the best possible location for the
Ayushi,
cheetah.
how do we tackle the judicial corruption now? We need a serious thought on judicial accountability. What do we do about it? Your view.
the corruption is a menace in society and it must be tackled very strictly, be it any
Any
aspect,
organization.
any organ of the government.
Hmm.
With respect to the judiciary, sir, I believe, sir, in the Veeraswamy judgment, it was mentioned that uh, police, before proceeding any
Hmm.
judge of the superior court, has to consult the Honorable Chief Justice of India. But sir, that I believe, sir, that must be revisited, especially in the corruption cases. Sir, police must have certain powers to act against the judge, because, sir, the registration of FIRs, the cordoning of the crime scene, securing the evidence, and then starting the investigation, sir, all of these form a very important aspect of finally securing the conviction and getting the criminal charged for what he did. And that must follow, this rule of law must be followed for the superior court judges as well, sir. The only concern which arises is regarding the independence of the judiciary, sir,
Hmm.
and their dignity and integrity, sir. But that holds true if the person, if the honorable judge is scot free, then no investigation can prove anything against him. Even if there is an investigation, and he will come out scot free. That only raises the integrity and the prestige of the person in the long run, sir. And we have had uh, civil servants, ministers, and so on, everyone facing the police investigation, sir. And we have had both the sides. People who are honest have come out scot free, and people who were corrupt have been convicted. And the same rule must be followed for the judiciary as well.
Have we talked about delimitation?
No.
Let's talk. Delimitation. How to resolve this current issue? The southern states have an issue. They are saying that we are producing less, and hence we'll have less representatives. And UP and Bihar aren't stopping, so they'll have more representatives. What do we do?
Sir, this issue is a contestation between two fundamental aspects of democracy: one value, one vote, and federalism, the role of states.
Hmm.
And it is actually on ground difficult to balance these two issues, sir.
Hmm.
And sir, one way we can go about it is we can increase the number of seats overall
Hmm.
in the Lok Sabha, sir.
Hmm.
So the concept of one vote, one value is maintained. And as far as the proportion of different states are concerned within those seats, sir, uh, southern states are bound to lose certain seats and northern states are bound to gain certain seats.
Hmm.
So, sir, if I have to choose, I would go with the democracy, sir, because I've always seen my country as one country and not as multiple states. So, federalism is a very important aspect, sir. But democracy, I will choose it over federalism, sir. And if there are more number of people in Uttar Pradesh, they deserve more representation in the Lok Sabha, sir. And if there are lesser people in the other states, we can have the proportionate. Regarding the federalism aspects, sir, we can think about how we can better utilize Rajya Sabha and the state assemblies in that regard. Maybe we can increase certain seats there, or maybe we can have more equitable representation in Rajya Sabha, and we can think around those aspects.
Hmm. Do people feel left out in the north-south debate because you people are from Madhya Pradesh?
Sir, I believe, sir, we are the most, we are the heart of India, sir, and we can relate with both North and South, sir, and very easily inclusive of both the parties, sir.
Could you think of a better, smarter answer when I'm talking about the north-south debate and you being Madhya Pradesh? It's not about you. Let's think about India. आप ये बोलो सर, आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज अ नॉर्थ साउथ डिवाइड. अभी तो आप ही के क्वेश्चन से मुझे मिला कि मैं तो देश के बारे में सोचूंगी, मैं स्टेट्स और नॉर्थ और साउथ के बारे में नहीं. अगर अगर पूछ लेता है, मुझे नहीं लगता कि मेरा शायद कोई भी क्वेश्चन रिपीट होगा या नहीं होगा, बट आई आई यूजुअली आस्क ऑल दिस. ओके, यूरोप का मैं अब कुछ चीजें आपको लिखवा देता हूँ जो मुझे लगता है आपको करनी चाहिए.
सर, ये
अगर आप
डिलिमिटेशन वाला ठीक था सर, मैंने बोला मैंने
नहीं,
ब्लेटेंटली एक साइड चूज कर लिया.
मुझे इसके बारे में बात करनी है. देखो, आप सिंपली बोलो कि सर यस देयर इज अ बोन ऑफ कंटेंशन. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द सदर्न स्टेट्स हैव टू बी टोल्ड विद अ डायलॉग, एंड इट्स हाई टाइम. एक और चीज याद रखना, कोई फेडरल इशू का क्वेश्चन आता है ना, आप बोलना सर इट्स हाई टाइम दैट द ऑनरेबल प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया शुड कॉन्स्टिट्यूट द इंटरस्टेट काउंसिल. बिकॉज कितने सारे फेडरल इश्यूज हैं. लैंग्वेज इशू हो गया, डीलिमिटेशन इशू हो गया, फिजिकल फेडरलिज्म का इशू हो गया, फाइनेंस कमीशन के ट्रांसफर्स का इशू हो गया, समग्र शिक्षा अभियान का इशू हो गया, गवर्नर्स का इशू हो गया. मतलब, और सेंटर स्टेट के हजारों इश्यूज हो गए, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स के हैंडलिंग का इशू हो गया, आप बोलो। तो सर हमें डायलॉग तो चाहिए। ये आप किसी भी एक अच्छे आंसर में मौका देखकर अगर आता है आपको, क्योंकि ना उसकी एक्सपेक्टेशन आपसे बहुत ज्यादा होगी, बिकॉज यू आर ऑलरेडी अ सर्विंग ऑफिसर। सो एक फ्रेशर को मैं दूसरे तरीके से तैयार कराता, लेकिन आपका तो बार ऊपर है बहुत। तो पहली चीज तो ये हो गई, आप ये कहना। दूसरी चीज आप ये कहना, सर फॉर द टाइम बीइंग देर आर मेनी ऑप्शंस विद अस। हमें सदर्न स्टेट्स को ये बताना है कि भैया, योर सीट्स विल नॉट बी रिड्यूस टू योर डिसएडवांटेज। जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, योर सैलरी विल नॉट बी रिड्यूस टू देयर डिसएडवांटेज, तो योर सीट्स विल नॉट बी रिड्यूस टू योर डिसएडवांटेज। सर वी कैन टेक अ क्यू फ्रॉम द बुक ऑफ द फाइनेंस कमीशन। How, sir, it is also rewarding the poorer states. Yes, it is giving money to the poorer states for their inefficiency, but it is also rewarding the meritorious states. So some form of, yes, some sort of temporary meritorious criteria can also be for the time being applied, and one person one vote for the time being can be set aside for the time being, बिकॉज प्रोपोर्शनली हमें उनको देना पड़ेगा ये। एंड सर इन द नियर फ्यूचर द फर्टिलिटी रेट्स ऑफ यूपी एंड बिहार एंड द नदर्न स्टेट्स आर आल्सो कमिंग डाउन, एंड देयर पॉपुलेशन इज गोइंग टू बी स्टेबलाइज्ड। सर आफ्टर अ decade or so we can definitely bring on a rational formula which satisfies all the stakeholders. मुझे यही लगता है, मुझे। और आई, एक दूसरा पर्सपेक्टिव जो राज्यसभा वाला है ना, देखो राज्यसभा इज ऑल्सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटेशन, पॉपुलेशन। तो वो भी शेड्यूल 4 जो है वो पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से ही हैवी होगा। यूपी का ज्यादा है तो उसको राज्यसभा में भी ज्यादा ही सीट्स मिलेगी, और तमिल का कम है तो उसको वहां पर भी कमी मिल रही है, केरला को, है ना। तो आप यही बोलेंगी। गवर्नर एज अ चांसलर ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटीज, बिल्कुल आप बोलो कि सर हम गवर्नर के रोल को विज विज द स्टेट काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स क्लियरली डिमार्केट कर दें। वी शुड वर्क इन द स्पिरिट ऑफ द पुंछी एंड द सरकारिया कमीशन, जिन्होंने गवर्नर के ऑफिस को रिफॉर्म करने की बात करी थी। वेरी सिंपल। एस्पिरेशनल यूथ वाला आपका आंसर, इट वाज एक्सक्विजिट, मैग्निफिसेंट। मतलब मजा आ गया। मतलब ये जो सेल्फ फुलफिलिंग प्रोफेसी, ओ माय गॉड। मतलब आपने तो वही, मोदी ने दिव्यांग बना दिया ना उनको, तो वो भी उनको मतलब एक सेंस ऑफ, उनको एक डिग्निटी दे दी आपने। और आपने यूथ को भी एक सेंस ऑफ डिग्निटी दे दी, क्योंकि हम लड़कियों को कहते रहते हैं कि यू कांट ड्राइव, यू कांट ड्राइव, इसीलिए वो बेचारी टक्कर मार देती है। तो वेरी गुड, एक्सीलेंट आंसर। 69, एब्सोल्यूट फाइन। पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म, मुझे पता नहीं क्यों सोशियोलॉजी के बच्चे क्यों नहीं समझा पाते, लेकिन आप ही ने ये अच्छे से समझाया है। आप पता नहीं कहां से पढ़ी है सोशियोलॉजी, आपने बिल्कुल परफेक्ट समझाया है कि पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म रिजेक्ट्स ऑल द मेगा नरेटिव्स। ये आपने बोला है। Nepal, we've talked about Trump का, again I was expecting this answer from you. An IAS officer you are in the making and you will make it. मणिपुर में परफेक्ट। और मैंने यही चीज बताई है कि पहले रोता हुआ मुंह बनाओ, जो आपने बनाया सर, इट वाज वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट। फिर आपने डिफेंड करा सरकार को, मैंने यही चीज सिखाई है अपने बच्चों को। मैंने कहा भाई सीधा तुम ना वो मत बन जाओ, नो सर वी हैव नॉट फेल्ड। पहले रो थोड़ा सा। यस, यू एक्नॉलेज दैट देयर हैव बीन atrocities देयर। Parliamentary debates, wonderful. Three language, wonderful. Madhya Pradesh, you already know it. Ragging issue, wonderful. River interlinking, मैं यही चाह रहा था कि तुम बोल दो एक बार कि सर हमने इन पॉलिसीज को EIA और SIA सोचकर बनाया है, और वही तुमने बोला। इसमें सोशल इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट भी ऐड कर देना, बस एनवायरमेंटल इम्पैक्ट इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट की तरह। बुंदेलखंड परफेक्ट। रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ प्रेगनेंसीज ना, अभी ये तूल पकड़ा नहीं है इशू, लेकिन हिंदू में आ गया तो ये पकड़ेगा अभी। तो तुम देख लेना यार। मेरे को वैसे क्या, तुम, मुझे तो बड़ा गंदा लग रहा है ये। व्हाट डू यू फील? कि अगर हमें, देखो इसके बेनिफिट्स ये हैं कि हम प्रेगनेंसीज को ट्रैक करेंगे, और जो सेक्स रेशो है उसको हम बढ़ा देंगे। हरियाणा में अभी फिर से डिक्लाइन आ रहा है, 913 आ गया। बेटी बचाओ के बाद उसका चाम चला गया, तो ये वाला स्टेप लिया है। आई डोंट नो, व्हाट डू यू थिंक? मतलब इवन आई हैव नॉट थॉट अबाउट इट, आयुषी।
Sir, it also depends on what stage pregnancy is registered, sir.
हाँ ये भी है, बिल्कुल सही
क्योंकि
है।
सर वो एमटी मेडिकल टर्मिनेशन ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी जो
हाँ
एक्ट है वो डिफरेंट स्टेजेस का अलग
हाँ
अलग
वो,
है।
हाँ वो 2 महीने
तो
का पता नहीं कितना दे रहा है वो। आई आई डोंट नो द एग्जैक्ट डेज कि कितने दिनों बाद तुम प्रेगनेंसी को कर सकते हो या नहीं कर सकते। फिर हाई कोर्ट की तुम्हें परमिशन चाहिए होती है, और मेडिकल बोर्ड की परमिशन चाहिए
यस
होती है। तो यार बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, तो इसको एक बार तुम थोड़ा सा देख लेना, ठीक है। और तुमने आईआईटीज को बड़े अच्छे से नेगोशिएट करा कि आईआईटीज में सिर्फ साइंस नहीं पढ़ाई जाती, ह्यूमन स्टडीज भी, सोशियोलॉजी भी पढ़ाई जाती है। इट इज मच मोर देन सिंपल प्लेन इंजीनियरिंग। तुमने हाइपर क्लीन वाटर बोला दो लहरा में, मैं वही सुनना चाह रहा था। तुमने वर्क कल्चर में वही बोला। एक तुम बोल सकती हो सर, वर्क कल्चर ऑल्सो इंक्लूड सम स्मॉल थिंग्स लाइक पंक्चुअलिटी, like being soft spoken to the customers, like being responsive to their complaints. So yes, things are coming up. Work culture is improving. There are issues, but work culture is definitely improving.
सर इसमें मेरे दिमाग में थोड़े से नेगेटिव पॉइंट भी आए थे गवर्नमेंट वर्क कल्चर को लेके, बट आई रिफ्रेन्ड फ्रॉम
हाँ,
सेइंग दैट।
नहीं बोल दो ना, यू शुड एक्नॉलेज थोड़ा सा तो देखो। इट कांट बी एवरीथिंग रोजी, बिकॉज इट्स वही है ना, मणिपुर में भी यू एक्नॉलेज्ड दैट इट वाज
यस।
अनफॉर्चुनेट। सो यहाँ पर भी तुम बोल दो कि सर यस, देयर इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग पब्लिक परसेप्शन दैट द गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स डोंट वर्क efficiently. However, sir, the work culture is improving. We are corporatizing. Even SBI is offering sofas and coffees to its customers in many tier 2 tier 3 cities. Even SBIs are, even the government आज अच्छा इसने भी तो ये इशू रेज करा है, परिणीति चोपड़ा के हस्बैंड ने, कौन है वो, राघव राघव चड्ढा।
राघव राघव
हाँ,
शर्मा।
he's raised that issue in the parliament today, यही बैंक वाला कि एसबी, कि सरकारी बैंक्स की हालत बड़ी खस्ता है, पंखे नहीं चल रहे हैं, दिस एंड दैट। एंड देन निर्मला सीतारमन ने यही रिप्लाई दिया आज, जो मैं डिबेट्स देख रहा राज्यसभा टीवी, वो यही हाँ राज्यसभा की, वो यही कह रही थी, कहती कि अब चीजें चेंज हो रही हैं, वर्क कल्चर इंप्रूव हो रहा है। तुम्हारे केस में मैंने इसलिए पूछा क्योंकि तुम्हारे यहाँ वर्क मतलब प्राइवेट और पब्लिक दोनों सेक्टर्स हैं। बाकी मैट्रिक्स मॉडल वो ऐड कर देना तुम, है ना।
यस।
और आई थिंक ये इसमें ना जो जो तुमने करा है, जैसे मान लीजिए यू गॉट द गोल्ड मेडल, है ना, या फिर कल्चरल एक्सीलेंस अवार्ड, या तुमने किसी फेस्ट में पार्ट लिया है। ओके, स्विमिंग आई डिड नॉट आस्क, वो तुम्हें पता ही है। एक एक ये हो सकता है कि इंडिया ओलंपिक्स को क्यों क्लेम कर रहा है, और एक जेनरिक सा क्वेश्चन कि क्यों हम सिंगल डिजिट में ही ओलंपिक्स में मेडल्स ले रहे हैं, या व्हेन विल इंडिया गेट इट्स नेक्स्ट माइकल फेल्प्स, जो स्विमिंग चैंप था ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाला, उस टाइप से शायद कुछ अच्छा, अभी मेरे स्टूडेंट को पूछा है आज ही, स्किट और ड्रामा में क्या फर्क है ना। तो ऐसे पूछ रहे हैं वो क्वेश्चन। उसका स्वयं सर का ही बोर्ड था, उसका 20th को था शायद, उसका 25th को था, पता नहीं उसका, जतिन का। सो ही इज आज दैट, है ना। या फिर तुम्हें कुछ, आई डोंट थिंक कि तुम्हें ड्रामा करने को कहेंगे, बिकॉज यू आर अबव दैट स्टेज नाउ। वो बच्चों को कहते हैं, जो 20-21 साल के बच्चे आते हैं ना कॉलेज से निकलकर, उनको तो जरूर बोल देते कि गाना सुना दे। आई डोंट थिंक तुमसे गाना सुनेंगे, ड्रामा करवाएंगे कुछ, आई डोंट थिंक सो, नो। तुम्हें तो वो अच्छे से ट्रीट करेंगे, यू आर एन
सर
आईएएस ऑफिसर।
करवाए दे करवाएंगे भी तो मैं कर दूंगी सर, आई लव डूइंग इट।
कर दोगी ना, बस फिर ठीक है। और मूवीज का थोड़ा सा वही है, हिंदी फिल्म्स का अच्छा, वाई आर दी नॉन हिंदी मूवीज बिकमिंग पॉपुलर थ्रू आउट इंडिया, इवन टॉलीवुड वगैरह, कॉलीवुड, टॉलीवुड, ये बहुत चल रही है। RRR पूरे इंडिया में हिट हुआ है यार, तो व्हाट इज द रीजन?
Sir, one is that people are now going beyond language barriers with this dubbing and everything coming on, and
OTT
subtitles is
platforms, yes, they are
OTT में।
providing 7-8 languages. Very good. Linguistic diversity OTT platform से हमें मिल रही है। ओटीटी का ये बेनिफिट है। और ओटीटी का एक ये भी बेनिफिट है कि हम, एक इंडिविजुअल बंदा अपने टाइम पर, अपने तरीके से, अपनी छुट्टी वाले दिन कोई भी मूवी देख सकता है सब्सक्राइब करके, है ना, खरीद कर। तो ओटीटीज का ये बहुत, एंड देन प्लग एंड प्ले मॉडल है कि जब आपका दिल करे आप लगा लो इसको, ये
सर
भी।
आपने कुछ वेब सीरीज के नाम बोले थे, एक
अच्छा,
एडोलेसेंस,
एक ब्लैक
ब्लैक
वॉरेंट।
और।
ब्लैक वॉरेंट, हाँ, ये ब्लैक वॉरेंट तुम्हारे पुलिस रिफॉर्म से रिलेटेड है सारा।
सर एक्चुअली टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट सर, ये जो थिएटर वाला है दैट आई कुड स्टिल परस्यू हियर इन माय कल्चरल नाइट एंड एवरीथिंग, बट
हम्म।
सर मूवीज और वेब सीरीज का तो बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं मिलता। तो आई
हम्म।
वॉच दिस वन मूवी मिसेस, इससे पहले, यहाँ आने से पहले तक आई यूज्ड टू वॉच अ लॉट,
हम्म।
बट यहाँ एंड आई रोट माय डैफ इन दिसंबर, तो मुझे लगा था टाइम मिल जाए, बट देन आई डिडंट गेट टाइम, सो आई एक्चुअली नॉट सीन अ लॉट ऑफ रीसेंट
हाँ,
वेब
तो
सीरीज।
तुम बोल देना ना, तुम बोल देना सर, आई हैव बीन वेरी बिजी इन माय ट्रेनिंग एंड आई हैव नॉट वॉच्ड द रीसेंट वंस। However, sir, if you pose a sociological question or any question, I would try to answer it. That's a very good answer. आप बोल देना, हाँ, उनको बोल देना कि I would try to answer if you raise an issue, sir, regarding that. If you could give me a hint or a background, I would try to answer it, even if I have not watched that particular मूवी। अच्छा, एक
सर कोई वेब
बॉली
सीरीज या मूवीज आपके अकॉर्डिंग जिस पर वो पूछ सकते हैं जो बहुत न्यूज में हो इस
यही
समय?
मैंने तो तुम्हें, ब्लैक वारंट तो बहुत न्यूज में था, तिहाड़ का पूरा तुम्हारा प्रिजनर्स अंडर ट्रायल का इशू, जेल में ड्रग्स का इशू, पुलिस में करप्शन का इशू, इन्वेस्टिगेशन का इशू, और जुडिशियल पेंडेंसी का इशू, जो मेन इश्यूज आ रहे हैं जुडिशरी के अभी, जुडिशियल करप्शन, ये सारे इशू दिखाए हैं यार इस वेब सीरीज में। बहुत अच्छी
जी।
वेब सीरीज है। एडोलेसेंस इसलिए कह रहा हूं कि आज एक्सप्रेस ने भी 2 आर्टिकल कवर करे, टाइम्स ऑफ
हम्म।
इंडिया कवर कर चुका, एक्सप्रेस कवर कर चुका, सारे अच्छे अखबार कवर कर चुके हैं इस वेब सीरीज को, एंड
जी।
न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स ने, मतलब बहुत बंदों ने कवर करा है, एंड इट्स अ वेरी लार्जर इशू। जो हमारा
हम्म।
यूथ है, प्यूबर्टी की, जो तुमने बोला उसको आंसर करा, तुमने बहुत अच्छे से आंसर करा था वो, कि जो 13 के बाद वाला यूथ है वो बड़ा इंप्रेशनेबल है, तुमने ये सारे वर्ड्स यूज करे थे एंड दे आर इकोइंग इन माई माइंड। सो वेरी गुड, एक्सीलेंट देयर एज वेल। हाउ मच डिड यू गेट लास्ट टाइम इन द इंटरव्यूज? कभी मैं तुम्हें ऐसे ही समझाए जा रहा हूँ और तुम्हारे तो 200
अरे
200।
नहीं नहीं। अरे नहीं नहीं सर, सर फर्स्ट टाइम आई स्कोर 201, लास्ट टाइम आई स्कोर 193 सर।
तो यू आर ऑलरेडी, तुम मेरे पास आई ही क्यों?
अरे
तो,
नहीं नहीं सर, आई एम गेनिंग अ लॉट सर ऐसा।
मैं तो, ये प्रॉब्लम है तुम अफसरों के साथ, तुम बाद में बताते हो सर मेरे तो 205 आए थे उस दिन वो। दिस मान्यता गुप्ता, पता नहीं कौन सा गुप्ता है, शी इज राइट, एंड शी गॉट वही तुम्हारी तरह 205, एंड बड़े इनोसेंट होकर बैठी थी कि उसको कुछ नहीं आता। और मैंने बाद में पूछ लिया, और मेरी भी गलती है, मैं पहले नहीं पूछता, मैंने बाद में पूछा कि हाउ मच डिड यू, शी सेड सर आई गॉट 205। मैंने कहा अगर इस बार तुम्हारे 202 भी आ गए ना, तो तुम मुझे गालियां दोगी कि सर के कारण मेरे 3 नंबर कम हो गए। And no, no, it was really, thank you so much for being a part of our team. मतलब we are,
अरे नहीं नहीं
I'm
सर, थैंक यू टू यू सर। आई एम
I'm
लर्निंग अ लॉट फ्रॉम यू सर, द डायरेक्शन ऑफ नॉलेज इन दिस वे सर।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, इट्स वेरी अच्छा। एक इश्यूज और कौन कौन से तुम याद कर सकती हो? देखो, एक तुम नेबरहुड फर्स्ट पॉलिसी, 10 साल हो गए उसके, है ना, और ऑलमोस्ट फेल ही हो रही है, तो तुम इसको डिफेंड कैसे करोगी? तुम कर लोगी जैसे तुमने मणिपुर को डिफेंड करा है, पहले इसको थोड़ा सा दुख व्यक्त करना है कि यस सर देयर आर चैलेंजेस, एक्सेप्ट एक्नॉलेज द चैलेंजेस एंड देन डिफेंड इट, नेबरहुड फर्स्ट, एंड देन 10 years ऑफ एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी, क्योंकि इंडोनेशिया के प्रेसिडेंट महोदय भी हमारे 26 जनवरी पे आए थे, है ना, तो एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी इज हॉट, एंड आसियान रीजन, इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन, ये आई थिंक यू विल आंसर ऑल दीज। देन चाइना वाला हमने कर लिया, कनाडा में रिजीम चेंज हुआ है, हाउ डू यू सी इट? बोलना सर वार्म होंगे रिलेशंस हमारे कनाडा के साथ, है ना। एंड देन इसराइल पैलेस्टीन में इंडिया का क्या स्टैंड है? वही, इंडिया सपोर्ट्स द ऑस्लो अकॉर्ड्स एंड 2 स्टेट सॉल्यूशन एंड इमीडिएट पीस। रशिया यूक्रेन में ऑल्सो इंडिया सपोर्ट्स द सेम थिंग, एकदम पीस, एकदम टेरिटरीज यूक्रेन की वापस मिलनी चाहिए, वी डोंट इंटरफेयर बायलेटरली, आप बोल देना इट इज देयर बायलेटरल मैटर। अगर वो हमें, कैन इंडिया बी अ गुड मीडिएटर? यस सर, इंडिया इज ट्रस्टवर्दी, India's foreign policy is always Vasudev Kutumbakam. Mediation is a part of our constitutional obligation as well. Article 51 DSPs का, तो सर हमें लीगली भी हम बाउंड है मीडिएशन के लिए और डायलॉग डिप्लोमेसी के लिए, एंड हमारा स्पिरिट भी गांधीयन है, बुद्धिस्ट है, नॉन एक्सपेंशनिस्ट है, नॉन एग्रेसिव है, इवन हमारा न्यूक्लियर डॉक्ट्राइन भी डिफेंसिव है सर, और हमने तो उसका नाम भी बुद्धा, स्माइलिंग बुद्धा रखा था। तो सर हम तो शांति प्रिय लोग ही हैं, तो हम तो मीडिएटर अच्छे बन ही सकते हैं। हमने करा कहाँ कहाँ है? बिल्कुल सर, नैम इज अ ग्रेट थिंग, हमने एक मीडिएशन ही करी नैम में, बहुत सारे डीकोलोनाइजेशन ड्राइव्स में हमने पार्टिसिपेट करा। अभी रिसेंटली डीकोलोनाइजेशन हमने मॉरिशस को भी हेल्प करा, अगलगा आइलैंड्स एंड ऑल, ब्रिटिशर्स से उनकी टेरिटरी देकर। अच्छा, यू टेल मी नाउ आयुषी, व्हाट इज अ स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप? अभी हमारे 2 रिसेंटली बने, कतर बना है और मॉरिशस बना है। सो व्हाट इज, हु इज अ स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर?
Sir, a strategic partnership is between two nations. When it goes beyond the mere economy and security, and then they are ready to collaborate on the strategic.
गोज बियॉन्ड मेयर इकोनॉमी
Yeah.
एंड कल्चर। हाँ, सिक्योरिटी तो स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का मेन पार्ट होता है, मेन पिलर है, जियो पॉलिटिक्स, सिक्योरिटी, ये सब चीजें। एंड तुम बोल देना सर, however we do not have a particular definition for it, there are no guidelines by the ministry, सिर्फ क्या है स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप में, दैट सर वी वांट टू डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन दोज इंपॉर्टेंट नेशंस, दोज इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रेंड्स एंड allies and the rest 200 nations. मतलब you can't say that everyone is a strategic partner ना. You choose only the strategic ones or the important ones जिनके साथ आप geopolitical relations हैं, आपके security related relations हैं. चाइना में 3 स्टांसेस आप ये लीजिएगा. पहला, इंडिजिनस अपने घर को ठीक करना. दूसरा सर, सिंस द पावर डिफरेंस इज टू मच, सो लाइक माइंडेड नेशंस के साथ हमें अलायंस बनाना है. क्वाड में हम कर रहे हैं, ऑकस में हम कर रहे हैं, इंडो पैसिफिक स्ट्रैटेजी हमारी, आसियान के साथ हम बैलेंस करना चाहते हैं. बिकॉज इंडिया इज 4 ट्रिलियन, चाइना इज 15 ट्रिलियन, 17 ट्रिलियन. सो हम अकेले इंडिजिनस कैपेसिटी को इंक्रीज करके भी चाइना से नहीं लड़ सकते. तो हमें लाइक माइंडेड नेशंस के साथ बैलेंस ऑफ पावर क्रिएट करना है. इंटरनल बैलेंसिंग इज रफाले जेट, F-35 बॉर्डर मैकेनिज्म्स. एक्सटर्नल बैलेंसिंग इज अलायंसेस विद द लाइक माइंडेड डेमोक्रेसीज सर. ओके, एक और चीज, जितने सारे यूरोपियन नेशंस हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, अमेरिका, जापान, इन सबको इंडो पैसिफिक में क्या लेना है? तुम बोलोगी सर स्पेसिफिक थिंग्स लाइक रूल्स बेस्ड इंटरनेशनल ऑर्डर. ये टर्म्स नोट कर लीजिए आप. रूल्स बेस्ड इंटरनेशनल ऑर्डर, फ्री एंड ओपन इंडो पैसिफिक, फिर यूएन क्लॉज, रिस्पेक्ट टू यूएन क्लॉज, फिर ओपन सी लेन्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन, फिर फ्रीडम ऑफ नेविगेशन एट हाई सीज. बस ये 5-6. पता है क्यों मैं कह रहा हूं ये? हमारी जितनी जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट्स हैं इंडो पैसिफिक में कोऑपरेट करने वाले नेशंस के साथ, उनमें ये 5-6 टर्म्स तो आ ही रही हैं. वेरी कॉमन है, हिंदू में भी रोज ही लिखी होती हैं. बस ये है. और तो देश के इश्यूज क्या हैं? जुडिशियल अकाउंटेबिलिटी चल रहा है, ये तुम्हें आता है ना. एक इलेक्शन कमीशन को चूज कैसे किया जाए, ये चल रहा है. वो कमेटी जो बनाई थी, तुम बोल देना सर आई एम पर्सनली आई एम हैप्पी विद द प्रीवियस रिजीम, जो सीजेआई, मिनिस्टर ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट एंड लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन. करंटली दिस हैज बीन चेंज्ड इनटू 2 मंत्री और एक ऑपोजिशन वाला. सो सर इट सीम्स दैट देयर इज अ परसेप्शन दैट देयर इज अ ह्यूज रोल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट और इट्स लॉपसाइडेड, है ना. तो उनका एक रेगुलेटर अपॉइंट उन्हीं की तरफ से हो रहा है. सो सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर्स को थोड़ा सा डाइल्यूट कर देता है, या चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस को थोड़ा सा डाइल्यूट कर देता है. एंड सीजर्स वाइफ शुड बी अबव सस्पिशन, सो शुड बी द जुडिशरी और द इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया सर.
सर वो जो जुडिशरी वाला आंसर मैंने बोला था रिगार्डिंग अकाउंटेबिलिटी, दैट दे शुड बी ट्रीटेड एट पार एफआईआर एंड एवरीथिंग दे
देखो,
शुड बी एबल टू डू.
वो तुम थोड़ा सा ना ज्यादा ग्राउंड पर ले गई उसको. तुम उसको पुलिस के साथ अरेस्ट करें, मैंने उसके बारे में बात करनी थी. आई एम ग्लैड यू आस्क्ड इट. देखो, उसमें ना पता क्या है, आप ये बोलो सर द मैटर इज सीरियस बिकॉज एक तो जुडिशरी डिक्लेयर्ड इन द एनजेएसी स्ट्राइकिंग डाउन केस या एनजेएसी केस दैट इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशरी इज अ बेसिक फीचर ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. It means the judiciary was not comfortable with the external interference at all. They were not comfortable with the legislations. They were not comfortable with the executive playing a part or the law minister playing a part in the judicial appointments. However, sir, many former Chief Justices of India have also said that yes, reforms need to be done in the collegium. So, sir, I feel that if the judiciary is not comfortable with the other arms or the polity intervening, then the reforms must come from the judiciary within. Reforms must come from the judiciary within. And, sir, it is to be ensured that the system of checks and balances should be maintained. So the amount of external interference can also be set up by the judiciary कि कितना हम चाहते हैं एग्जीक्यूटिव का रोल रहे और लेजिस्लेचर का रोल रहे, या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को किस हद तक अमेंड करना चाहिए. सो देयर शुड बी वही डेलिब्रेशन बिटवीन द 3 ऑर्गन्स ऑफ अ पॉलिटी. कमिटी बनाई जाए, चाहे फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस की बनाई जाए, and it should include both the aspects of judicial accountability as well as appointments, because sir, both are interrelated. If the appointments are unfair, there are more chances of judicial misconduct और misbehavior. Misbehavior ही है ना judiciary को remove करने के लिए grounds. मिसबिहेवियर एंड इनकैपेसिटी, हाँ, तो देर आर लेस चांसेस ऑफ मिसबिहेवियर सर, अब ऐसा बोल सकती हैं, है ना। और कोई इशू मेरे को जो जो याद आता रहेगा ना, मैं तुम्हें व्हाट्सएप करता रहूंगा, क्योंकि तुम्हारा 4 अप्रैल को है ना। सो मैं
जी जी।
आई जस्ट, या आपको भी अगर कोई कुछ याद आए और आपने डिस्कस करना हो, मान लीजिए 2 अप्रैल को आपने डिस्कस करना हो या 3 को भी आपने करना हो, जस्ट अ पेप टॉक और अ सीबीएम कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग मेजर सेशन, और वैसे आपको जरूरत नहीं है, आई डोंट थिंक यू नीड इट, बट इफ,
नहीं नहीं सर, ऐसा नहीं है।
see, the only thing I am telling is why, because you people are not in touch. आपका ये प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि आप लोग टच में नहीं रहते। एनी अदर थिंग आयुषी?
सर आपने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि शुड ओटीटी भी रेगुलेट कम अंडर सीबीएफसी।
सीबीएफसी, देखो इसमें पता क्या है, अब सीबीएसई देखो, प्रॉब्लम पता क्या है, अब अगर एक मूवी डायरेक्टली ओटीटी पे आ जाती है और दूसरी मूवी क्या होती है, आपकी डायरेक्ट पर्दे पर आती है, पर्दे की मूवी के साथ आप डिस्क्रिमिनेट कर रहे हो, बिकॉज इट इज बीइंग कट बाय द सेंसर बोर्ड। और ओटीटी पर आप जैसा मर्जी कंटेंट चढ़ा दो, उसकी कोई रेगुलेशन नहीं है, या इट इज ऑलमोस्ट वेरी लाइटली रेगुलेटेड। तो तुम ये बोलोगी सर कि इन ऑर्डर टू ब्रिंग अ पैरिटी, व्हाट कैन बी डन इज, वी कैन हैव, वही फिर से, वी कैन हैव एन ऑल स्टेक होल्डर डिस्कशन, कि हम एक रूल्स बनाएं कि दी लीडर्स ऑफ द ओटीटी और द सीईओज, द इंडिया सीईओ ऑफ नेटफ्लिक्स, amazon एंड द बिग कंपनीज, दे कैन सिट टुगेदर विद आवर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफिशियल्स, एंड हम खुद उनको इंडियन सोसाइटी के जो हिसाब से हो वैसा एक रूल एंड रेगुलेशंस बना दे, बिकॉज हर कंट्री के अपने स्टैंडर्ड्स होते हैं, तो इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड्स भी यहां पर मेंटेन हो सकते हैं, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है सर, कि वो कंटेंट अपना फिल्टर करके देंगे जो इंडिया के लिए हो। यूट्यूब ऑलरेडी सर, यूट्यूब हैज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कम्युनिटी गाइडलाइंस, अगर यूट्यूब के बारे में कहे तो स्पेसिफिकली सर, इवन यूट्यूब हैव अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कम्युनिटी गाइडलाइन पॉलिसी। वॉट एवर वीडियो इज बींग अपलोडेड ऑन यूट्यूब, आप यूट्यूब पर कोई भी पोर्नोग्राफिक कंटेंट नहीं देखोगे, उसी टाइम वो कैंसिल हो जाएगा। नेटफ्लिक्स पर लेकिन है, यूट्यूब पर नहीं है। तो द रीजन इज दिस, कि यूट्यूब हैज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कम्युनिटी गाइडलाइंस, एंड दैट टू इंडिया में ही है, सिर्फ अमेरिका में नहीं है। अमेरिका में एवरीथिंग इज देयर ऑन यूट्यूब, लेकिन इंडिया चैप्टर में यूट्यूब इज वेरी वेरी रेगुलेटेड सर। एंड यूट्यूब में हम भी जब हर कोई वीडियो अपलोड करते हैं ना अपनी, तो हमारे पास भी ऑप्शंस होते हैं बहुत सारे, मल्टीपल, कि ये बच्चों के लिए है, नहीं है, इसमें वायलेंस है, नहीं है, तो बहुत सारे फिल्टर्स को होकर यूट्यूब एक वीडियो को पोर्ट्रे करता है। तो ऐसे ही हम यही चीज किनके लिए भी कर सकते हैं, आपके ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म्स के लिए भी कर सकते हैं। तुम ये बोलना सीबीएफसी के अंडर नहीं आनी चाहिए सर, वी शुड नॉट प्री सेंसर द ओटीटी कंटेंट, बिकॉज वरना फिर ये भाग जाएंगे, और जितना इनके पास मसाला है, मूवीज हैं, उसको प्रैक्टिकली भी पॉसिबल नहीं है, इट इज ओनली पॉसिबल यूजिंग एआई। तो यूट्यूब जैसा काम ही इन पर भी हो सकता है। सिमिलर कम्युनिटी गाइडलाइंस कैन बी इम्पोज्ड ऑन दीज ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म्स। और कुछ जो आपको लग रहा है जो हम डिस्कस कर सकते हैं?
नहीं सर, यही।
आई थिंक यू आर ऑल गुड टू गो। फिर भी इफ यू एवर फील, एक दिन में, 2 दिन में, 3 दिन में, वी वांट टू टॉक ऑन सम इशू, वी कैन डेफिनेटली से, कभी भी, नो नो वरीज, आई एम ओनली अ मैसेज अवे, आई विल बी देयर फॉर माय इंटरव्यू स्टूडेंट्स। सो
थैंक यू सर।
तो आपका टाइम नहीं मैंने वेस्ट करा, मुझे ये
अरे
बड़ा,
सर, नो नो
मुझे ये
सर,
बड़ा,
नॉट एट ऑल सर, इट वाज वेरी वेरी यूजफुल
मुझे
सर,
मुझे
वेरी
बड़ा वो
वेरी।
रहता है कि यार इनका, यू आर मतलब ऑलरेडी ऑफिसर्स, तो मुझे ये रहता है कि आप लोगों का टाइम बड़ा क्रूशियल है, और मैं कहीं गॉसिप ना हुआ हो कहीं ये हमारा सेशन के।
अरे नॉट एट ऑल सर, सर इट वाज वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल सर, डेफिनेटली इट वाज वेरी हेल्पफुल।
चलो, यू, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू
टेक,
वेरी मच सर, दिस वाज वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल सर,
जी
थैंक
जी,
यू।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।